Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go, but I know. Walk on up with a drink in hand, sipping mixers cause you can. And all the lights begin to switch off. You're chasing the night, holding on for life, fading the high. Chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, holding on for life, fading the high. Chasing the night, holding on for life, feet in the high, chasing the night, chasing the night. Hotel rooms and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away when you stay. Locked in love for a night or two, losing sleep just to get off you. Day to day you wanna stay out. You're chasing the night, holding on for life, fading the high. Chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, holding on for life, fading the high. Chasing the night, holding on for life, fading the high. Chasing the night, chasing the night.
We're living for the moment now, we're one with the world. I can't lose this feeling I get. My heart's in the right place, and so is my soul, yeah. I won't take no excuses for it. Want it, love it, need it, live it. I feel like something's missing when I do not have it. I feel it in my bones, gotta find my space. These emotions on my face, taking a toll, I gotta pay it forward. I'll give it all that I can. No matter what, I won't let up. It's in my soul, it's in my blood, and I won't take no for an answer. If it don't hurt me, it makes me stronger. Yeah. No what, I won't let up. It's in my soul, it's in my blood, and I won't take it no more. I won't. Oh, baby. Just leave it to me. I know what I need. You'll find if you see. And if you believe, you live and you breathe, you'll find the key. Lifting me, lifting you. Can't go alone, let's do by two. Doing this together, it's me by you. All through the night, all through the night. This is me, this is you. When we get together, we can all pull through. I don't ever ever wanna stop this groove. Let's get it right. Take it to the Lord, then take it to the grave. Listen to the wise man, tell me what he say. Listen to your heartbeat like it still bleed. A little bit of hope, yeah, it's what we still need. Say a little prayer for the moment. Give what you got, just go in. Can't hold you back if you own it. Live your life like you're chosen. No matter what, I won't let up. It's It's in my soul, it's in my blood, and I won't take no for an answer. If it don't hurt me, it makes me stronger. Yeah, what I won't get up. It's in my soul, it's in my blood, and I won't take it no more. If I won't, oh baby, just leave it to me. I know what I need. You'll find it, you see. And if you believe, you live and you breathe, you'll find the key. Know what I need, I know what I need. You find the keys.
Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go, but I know. Walk on up with a drink in hand, sipping mixes cause you can. And all the lights begin to switch off. You're chasing the light, holding on for life. Holding on for life, feeding the high, chasing the night, chasing the night. Hotel rooms and city squares, champagne bottles, drum and snare. The sights and cities seem to fall away when you stay. Locked in love for a night or two, losing sleep just to get a few. Day to day you wanna stay out. You're chasing the light, holding on for life, feeling the high, chasing the
Now and your life.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to RCI's TV's presentation of the Endurance Championship, Round 4 here at Hungaroring. I'm Jesse Lee. I am joined by Josh LaShawn, and behind the cameras today is Stewie. We're so glad to have you back and here today. Had a little bit of a break in this championship for our 12-hour of Bathurst event, but the season continues on. Round 4 of 8 being brought to you live here. And Josh, we're at Hungaroring. You can pass around here.
Yes, you can. Hello, everybody. So yeah, from Australia to Hungary, me and Jesse are back in the box. But yeah, it gets a lot of hate for being very narrow and a bit of a Monaco without the walls, as people call it. But yeah, you can stitch up a move here, but it's a very technical circuit as we see. Darren King as well. He's had enough of the of the middle sector as well. But yeah, it's good to get involved in this Enduro Champ. See some driver swaps again. It's only seems like the other day we were doing the Bathurst 12 hours, but here we are, we're back at it again. So let's wait and see what goes on.
No rest for the weary, but I gotta say, it was more of a fantastic experience for you for that 12-hour because you weren't meant to be there, and then all of a sudden you were doing 6 hours of it. Why not? So, my question to you is, Josh, have you been able to rest up and prepare for this? Because we got 2 hours of racing to do.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The last Saturday was probably one of the best days of doing this kind of thing. Just in ACC in general. Yeah, it was awesome to not be doing it. To sitting down with some friends on Discord to watching the race, and then all of a sudden, Josh, we're having technical issues. Can you jump in? I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. I got to be honest, I did sleep for the majority of Sunday, only because I wasn't really prepared and I left early in the morning Saturday. So yeah, it really caught up to me on Sunday and even into Monday as well. But I am definitely rested up for this. It's another weekend. It's Friday night. Friday night is race night in ACC, and yeah, I can't wait to see this because Hungaroring, like you said earlier on, you can pass, but I just love how close some of the racing can be, how close they get to each other in the middle sectors. Very similar to what we're seeing on the screen at the moment, really. But and I believe that on the screen now, the 126 Mercedes is the 12 hours of Bathurst winners. Matthias Egger and Barazini. They were just flawless last weekend, weren't they? They just didn't really put a foot wrong all race.
Yeah, for those of you that didn't get to see that 12-hour race, mild spoilers there, but it doesn't matter. Go back and watch it. This team right here, the Orion Racing team of Matthias Egger and Berrezzini, just did a whale of a job. It's just, they didn't always have the lead. They had to fight for it early against several teams, but once they had it, they refused to relinquish it, and this is the one team that's flying high. For everybody else, though, Josh, it is reset day. If the first 3 rounds of this 8-round championship hasn't gone your way, you wipe the slate clean and you start over here today because it's all to play for. Our points table, as we were looking at before we went live, is incredibly close between a lot of these guys. Nobody has taken control of this championship yet.
No, they have not, and it's incredibly close at the top, and that's what you wanna see. And I think was it 8 or 9 rounds? Did we confirm? I think it's 9 rounds.
Looks like 8.
8 rounds. So this is not quite the halfway mark, but after today, there'll be 4 races left. So 3 rounds down, another 5 to go. It's all still to play for. Like I say, you're not even halfway through yet. So, and the thing is, like, even the team at the top, if they have a bad race today, they could probably drop 3-4 positions down the table, and it just changes the face of the championship completely. So hopefully, obviously I'm filling in for today, but hopefully I might be able to get to do a few more of these races with you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I've got the bug again after last weekend. Like, I've got the serious bug again to just do some racing. So. But yeah, so I just had to make a little adjustment to my mic there. So if the director can just confirm that's okay. Hopefully I'm not too loud and making everyone's ears bleed.
Well, for one thing, we do have a championship on our hand like we're talking about. And just to give you sort of the size of how close it is. Sidemax Motorworks and their number 66 AMG of Joe McCauley and Tinker Vandervelde are leading this championship with 151 points. Project Alien and the 44 Aston Martin of James Parker and Andre Dedicek are 149. That's only 2 points out. And if you think it couldn't get better, it does. The GC Racing number 1 Lexus team, driving the number 42 with Martin Schumacher and Stefan Zero, they have 142 points. So they're 9 points out of the lead. That's nothing. And even still, if you're behind them, like Darren King and Sean Arnold are in the number 38 Fordzilla Ferrari 488, they have 133 points. It does get a bit further back behind there. The aforementioned Matthias Egger and Fulvio Berrezzini in the Orion Racing team, they are sitting at 112 points back in 5th place right now. So they're a little bit further back, but anything's possible. We will be at the halfway point after this race ends today. And for those of you that maybe have forgotten how this works, very short qualifying, 10-minute qualifying, as all the cars are released out on the track. There will be 3 mandatory pit stops in this race and 3 driver changes, each team comprised of 2 drivers. So presumably whatever driver starts the race finishes the race, and the driver has a nice little middle stint. But either way, it's going to be a fantastic day here. I love coming here. I know a lot of people that don't like this place, but I always did, Josh, because this place flows very well. And also, I can get my nose in on somebody on a lot of these corners and make a pass.
Yeah, you can scare people into certain corners on this circuit. But turn 1, turn 1's is a pretty good, obviously, downhill braking zone. We're actually going to be approaching it now with Stefan Zero. He starts his qualifying lap, but yeah, if you don't get the move done here, lots of people try to switch back, obviously, all the way down to turn 2, which again is a long left, and you can pretty much fight from turn 1 pretty much all the way up until about turn 4, which is obviously the flat left. And if you're really brave, you could carry it on a little bit more. But yeah, I quite like this place. I think it was I done my first ever league race on ACC here, I believe. Pretty sure it was the Hungaroring, and yeah, I like it. Being a Formula 1 fan, watching the F1 cars come around, go around this circuit is a sight to see. But the GT3 cars is such a different experience. You've got to be so patient in the middle sector. You have to just wait and wait and wait, and almost it feels quite agonizingly slow. But really, you're on the absolute limit of grip. And Stefan Zero using all the track available to him at the moment. That's exactly what we want to see. The Hungaroring is about using as much of the curbs as you can without breaking the rules, and he's definitely making the most of it. So we're going to have our first flying laps coming around soon, so that should give us a bit of a shape after the first run, see who's going to be starting where. It'll give us a rough idea at least. Obviously still 6 minutes, you probably got enough for 3 flying laps really. Well, I don't know whether they'd pit to obviously refuel, change the tyres and go out again, or just keep using the set they've got. I'm sure for the 6 or 7 minutes they got left, I think the tyres should be okay. Let's see where Stefan Zero, or what time he's going to put down at least. Obviously he's going to go first because I think he's our first timed runner, and he is a 1:43.4. So that's the time to beat at the moment. So let's waiting for. There you go. It's already been beaten. 1:42.8. That is quite monstrous. That lap from Darren King. I've got to say that is very fast.
Well, Darren King and that Fordzilla team is in a position where they can capitalize today and get their name right back in the hat to win this thing. And it's not been the smoothest sort of first 3 rounds for the Fordzilla team, but they've landed gracefully, and they are still very much in the hunt of this thing. And if they can keep this up, but just as quickly as I say that, Matthias Egger went quicker, and then Rommel went quicker than all of them at a 42.624. Game on with 5 minutes left in qualifying. I think you can do, Josh, what you said. I think they can come in, they can make an adjustment if they need to, get another set on there. I think maybe they will do that. It might be beneficial to get those brand new tires on there and go out for one more run. And here is the Lucas Rommel team currently sitting number 1 on the board. Haven't heard a whole lot from these guys this season so far, but they're certainly making a splash here. Purple striping on a white Porsche. I kind of dig it.
Yeah, they use that livery a lot. I know they run it at the 12 hours, and I'm pretty sure some events we've done previously, I definitely recognise the livery, and it's good when you have a livery that you recognise. I knew that was Lucas Ronald's team before I even seen it, and I think it's Bossele that races with him. Again, I used to race against Bossele in another championship, and he pretty much wiped the floor with me around Spa, if I remember rightly. Yeah, not one of my greatest moments, but yeah. So Darren King is actually he's gone back top again, hasn't he? He's gone 1:42.3, so that was another half a second faster than what he did previously. So and Jardier or Jaroslav Honzik as well has gone P4, only 3/10 off. So Matthias Egger has just gone pole by less than a tenth. So it's fair to say it's nice and close, Jesse, which is what you want to see. Obviously, qualifying isn't everything in a 2-hour race, but it is nicer to start at the front. Sometimes you can avoid the carnage, but sometimes carnage can happen higher up as well. But you got more chance of evading some carnage if you start P5 rather than you finish. You start P25, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not like a race scientist or anything like that, but something about this place, they always have really close qualifying, and they always really have to fight it out that first few laps, that first 15 minutes or so into the race, because again, that long front straightaway, that is enough to get a tow and get up beside somebody. And if you let them by, then you're fighting them for that whole lap or 2 laps or 3 laps or however long it takes. We saw in the Night Owl Championship around here, we saw some smaller teams, some teams that probably were punching above their weight class, beat some really good teams simply because they were able to use their car's natural advantage of, well, horsepower and aerodynamics to get in front of a team that may have been a little more green and alien-like. But once they got in front of them, there's nothing they could do. They positioned their car perfectly. I think you're going to see that today. And also, I haven't talked about it yet, but you're going to see some people turn some guys around here tonight, because it's just going to be inevitable that somebody is going to get in too deep to one of these turns and turn somebody.
Yeah, it's just got that nature, isn't it? The circuit. But another thing with this circuit as well is, I know it's the case with all circuits, but it really, really depends on where you're fast, because you can be so much faster than the car ahead in the middle sector and towards the end of the third. But if he's faster than you around the last corner, you're probably not going to get past him. You're going to have to wait for a mistake. Like, there's lots of... Pretty much, if you can get around turn 5, which is the long right-hand hairpin, you can pretty much say you're going to be safe until turn 1 again, unless you make... Well, I suppose turn 12, you could make a dive into turn 12, but most people will wait to turn 1. If you've got to be, I'd say, at least 8/10 a second, 8/10 of a second faster per lap to get an overtake done here. You have to have quite a big pace difference, or just be very good at making yourself, known in the mirrors, so they're looking backwards, not forwards. I've managed to overtake people here, but it normally 6-7 laps in the making. Very, very similar to what we've seen Jardier do in the 12 hours. Sort of edging out and learning where he was faster than his opponent, and obviously using that to his benefit there. So Joe McCauley gets a bit loose there. He's managed to keep it out of the wall though, which is good. So he can keep going and get another run in before the end. Currently sitting P4, but the fight for P1, sorry, between the top 3 is severely close. But I wouldn't rule out anybody in the top 6. It's only 4/10. You could find that around here. You can find that. So let's wait and see who's going to take pole position.
Yeah, Matthias Egger responded to Darren King, ran a 42.297. You see there, that's about a tenth, 3/4 of a tenth, in fact, quicker than Darren King. I wonder if they will have a response to that. Surely they will. I don't think Rommel will have a response. They have brought their car to pit road, and they will not be able to get around and get another lap. So they are going to be vulnerable. They're in 3rd place from Jardier, McCauley, Lebrecht, Dedicek, and the rest of these guys who are out here doing hot laps. There is the aforementioned Jardier, He is out here looking to make another run at this. How far up the grid can he get? Flashing the lights at the car in front of him, letting him know that he is on a fast lap. Hopefully they see, oh, but he's not going to be on a fast lap anymore as he gets all sorts of Tokyo drifty off that corner, and that is not going to help your time, and that is going to be most likely the end of his run.
That's not gonna help him. And Darren King as well has also gone pole again, and he's also 2/10 up. But bad news is for Honzik there is the cars behind him. Joe McCauley is 2/10 up at the moment, so that could push him off the second row. Matthias Egger at the moment not lighting the timing screens up, but it's only a 10th. You know, you can make that back. He only needs to find 300. So can he find it in the last sort of 3-4 corners? Probably the toughest corners coming up though. The long left here. Oh no, he's gone off. He's gone deep. That's going to cost him.
That will, I don't know if that'll invalidate his lap, but that will likely be all she wrote there. Darren King with that response again. It's like a debate. Yeah, and you can see Matthias Egger admitting defeat right there, and goes ahead and takes it down pit road. A couple of cars still out there, still with the potential of going quicker. Martin Schumacher, one of those cars, the 42 team, I am not sure that they want to start all the way back here, and the number 7 team has gone off. That's the second place team in AM that just spun off the track there, and I believe Martin Schumacher got a piece of that, and that is going to keep them from getting a quicker time there.
Yeah, that's not ideal. I don't really see what happened there. It just looked like they were parked on the final corner.
I think the 7 was losing it there, Josh, and the 42 had nowhere to go.
Yeah, it looks that way. But so that's the grid. So Darren King, I believe that's the Fordzilla team. And the Ferrari take pole by over a 10th, almost 2/10 in the end. So they obviously still had a bit more in the tank. A 1:42.1 gets pole. That's just that's stupidly fast when you think about it. But interesting though, Joe McCauley was 3/10 up, but he must have been invalid because when he crossed the line, he didn't improve. So he must have invalidated his time because he would have been P3 as well, near enough. P3, P4 would have been pretty close. So Jardier, after his mistake, has managed to hold on to that because the 2 guys behind him were quicker, but they didn't stitch it up in the last sector. So Jardier P4 for the number 39 team. I believe Yas Heat, I believe the team is called, with Valentin Barrier. So let's see how they can get on. But yeah, Darren King, flawless. He was really good last weekend as well, and proving his worth there with the pole position.
Yeah, he sure is. Today could be the day. They are 4th in the championship. They are within striking distance, I would say. And it would further make me pull my hair out if they won this race today, because that would pretty much knot it up at the top of the board even more than it already is. And with half the season down, that's pretty much all you could ask for, is for a bunch of teams to have a say in it. Darren King on pole here tonight in the number 38 Ferrari. Fulvio Berrezzini will take second in the 1-2-6, and Bosslet in third there with Lucas Rommel in the 1-3-7, Jardier and Barrier in the 4th position. Blanton will start in 5th. Tico Vandervelde 6th. James Parker 7th. Felix 8th. Sundstrom 9th. Gillies 10th. And then Vit 0, McCall, Isherwood, Woolmuth, Ripper, Grant Smith, Brunier, Mathis, Worst, Hawa, Lawrence, Svinchek, Ingman, Winkler, Jones, Rowert, Vinovic, Muthin, Asoe, Chadwick, Schuler, Madzo, Roschek, Brito, and Fitzgerald. That is your grid. 36 cars. Good Lord, I didn't realize there were that many cars. 36 cars on the grid here today. For those of you that may be tuning in for the very first time, let me explain how this is going to work. It's going to be a 2-hour race for you this afternoon here at Hungaroring. Each team has 2 drivers. Each pit stop requires that the tires be changed, and I believe a driver swap for the stop to be valid. They'll have to have 3 of those in the 2-hour race. And we have 2 classes here today, as noted by the placards. A white placard is pro, a red placard is silver or AM, whatever you want to call it. They are your two different classes today. That is your grid you're looking at there with all 36 cars. Mr. Josh, hard to go against Darren King today. He looked impressive in qualifying, but who's your pick to win it all today?
I'm gonna go with the 137 Porsche for me. I think they're gonna have the pace. They're both Bosselate and Rommel. I know they're great racers, and this is a kind of a track where they can be a real pest. And fill the mirrors in the Porsche, and it's nice to see. We've got four different cars in the first two rows. Obviously, we got another Ferrari there in P5, Cody Blanton and Ishmael Lebrec in the number 9 Ferrari. I remember you saying earlier on they haven't had the rub of the green, so to speak, so far. So maybe this is the race that they've been needing. But I'm going to go with the 137 Porsche. I think they're going to get a good finish today. But again, you can't rule out the 126 Mercedes of Barazini and Egger as well. They've got to be so high on morale right now. Can they carry their form through? Let's wait and see. But again, it's too hard to pick. But if I have to pick, I'm going to go 137.
Wrong, incorrect. Here's the thing, and I'm going to level with you guys. I picked Darren King to win a lot. Here's a statistic for you, Josh. Every time I've picked Darren King, he's never finished the race. So today, there's no way he doesn't win this race. Darren King is going to win in the Fordzilla number 38 Ferrari, and that's just going to be that. Because if he doesn't, he'll be waiting for me in the parking lot.
Yeah, so you really, really want to hope he wins. He's not going to be happy with you otherwise. But yeah, again, you can't rule out Darren King. Team Fordzilla, they're always near the front, always have been. But yeah, it's too hard to pick. And obviously, we know Jardier is a mean racer as well. He's only P4, so I think just knowing that Jardier is there, and you got Van der Velde as well. There's just so many names. James Parker down in P7 as well. The guys in front will know that they're going to be coming under threat at some point in the race, and obviously, we've got driver swaps as well. So I can't wait. Can't wait. This is going to be awesome.
I can't tell you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to locate the 222 because they're mysteriously absent from the front of this grid. Oh, I see what's happened here. They have signed out for this event. I found them on my sheet. So the championship leaders in AM are not here today. They are officially signed out on our system. So somebody else other than the 222S Endurance Team Purple team is going to win today. So that's going to be interesting as well. I was unaware that they were signed out, but it will make that very interesting. I wonder if we saw Slizik and them have issues on their qualifying out there in that number 7 Bentley. They are second in the championship. They're quite a ways back. They're about 40 some points behind. So it'll be interesting to see if that number 7 team is able to rebound, or just who in general is going to be the front runner in AM today. That'll be something we also pay a great deal of attention to as the grid is released out on their siding lap. All the cars getting away from the grid. Very nice, lovely sunshine here, it must be said. Lovely temperature too. Got a little bit of a wind that keeps flip-flopping on us. It's sometimes out of the south and sometimes out of the east. But 21 degrees C on the track, 15 ambient, optimum track temperature, partly cloudy. Lovely weather, lovely day to be out here. We'll be racing into the 6 p.m. hour in sim time. All about that start, though, Josh. All about that start. Got to get a clean start, got to get a good start, and got to potentially get a good jump to get a run down in turn 1.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to lose it all in turn 1. 2 hours. It's an endurance race, but 2 hours isn't massive amount of time. You can still make up any mistakes you make, but it is all about the start. But I don't think the guys will risk it all. But if the gap is there, they're going to go for it at the end of the day. So let's wait and see. Hungaroring, it does have a bit of runoff into turn 1, so you can be quite late on the brakes and risk it. And you know, you're not going to have to pay the price for it, because you will be able to run off and get yourself back on. Obviously, you'll lose places, but you're not going to get too much damage as long as you don't make contact with another car. So, yeah, even when I'm not racing, I still get nervous for race starts. I don't know why. It still makes me nervous. Like, you know, when you're watching a race, you're just so nervous for everybody, and you know, you just don't know what to expect. But I know that Mercedes is going to be pretty quick down the straights. So let's wait and see who gets the jump on the green flag. I think Egger needs to get a good start, because King looked like he had a lot more pace to give in qualifying as well. He kept improving by a 10th or 2 every single lap. So he needs to hope he's not you know, that's not going to be the story in the race as well. Otherwise, I think he may just run away with it. But keep an eye on the 137. They're going to get themselves in amongst it on the first lap, I'm sure.
Of course, Lucas Rommel and that team, they're not a factor in this championship, and it'd be a really tall task for them to get back into it. But that's not by their racing. That's by virtue of them being signed out from several events, scheduling conflicts and such, as they get ready to round the final turn to come onto the front straightaway to get this race underway. Here they all file 2 by 2 as far as the eye can see. 36 competitors, double that for the drivers. Everybody anxious and ready to get this race underway. Darren King, Matthias Egger on the front row of the grid. Pay attention to them, and also pay attention to that second and third row. They are the wild cards here on the start as the green flag drops and they go down into turn 1. Matthias Egger gets a heck of a run on that outside. I don't think he'll be able to clear Darren King down into turn 1. He nearly does. He thinks about going to the inside. He gets to the inside. Matthias Egger has jumped Darren King on the start. Rommel looking to get, that's actually Jardier who's got by Rommel there, attempting to get second place away from Darren King now. Excellent start by Egger and Jardier.
Yeah, it looked like Lucas Rommel was really, really passive into turn 1, and so he lost out to Jardier. Jardier was just a bit more on it, shall we say. But looks like Jordan Grant Smith's also picked up a drive-through. Yeah, it looks like the guys, everyone's got away clean so far. There's a couple of guys running wide here at turn 4, but you know, no contact that we've seen on stream just yet. But Darren King now, he is all over the back of the 126 Mercedes. He's not going to be happy with that. But so it looks like the 126 did what they needed to do. Can they pull away? But it looks like these two are already going to get quite racy. Darren King is not going to let them take another race from them. So, but yeah, Jardier up to P3 straight away. Let's see what kind of pace he's got. Obviously, we know he was improving on his time, but he lost the rear coming out of the chicane just before the middle sector. So as we hop onto the rear bumper cam here of Matthias Egger, you can see Darren King's Ferrari there, just keeping him honest, coming around the final corner to finish the first tour of the circuit.
Oh,
but
he missed it.
Yeah, he
he
has a little bit. He should be okay though. He should get a nice run. Actually, running deep sometimes can give you the straight line speed, but so far so good for everybody. Unless you're Jordan Grant Smith with a drive-through penalty. Apart from that, so far so good, I'd say.
I was actually sort of amazed at how clean that was. I didn't necessarily see it, but I didn't see a single yellow flagged sector on that first lap.
I don't think there was.
That has got to be the cleanest. Oh, I'm told in my ear that there was a yellow flag sector, and there's actually a yellow flag sector down into turn 1 now towards the back of the AM grid as some of the vehicles getting caught up. And there is the second place man in the AM championship. Of course, we highlighted their struggles in qualifying. They had a bit of an incident, but they still ran a lap quick enough to put them inside the top 3 in their class. Now, all these drivers racing in their class, of course, and for overall, but that Bentley just looks nasty so far. It's sliding around corners, Josh.
Yeah, it is. They must be pushing super hard. I don't know if they lost positions on the start, but yeah, they look like they want to get past this Lamborghini of Schuller as fast as they can. But interestingly enough as well, Rabbi Hauer in the 722 in the AM class, as we're going to call them for today. They were actually the class leader, so they had pole position in their class. They've also lost two positions as well on the opening lap. So they must have not had a great start. But the problem is when you're pole position in the the secondary class, so to speak, you're not actually at the front. So obviously you don't have clean track. So it's not like having a pole position. So because you could get held up massively. Whereas if you get pole in the in the overall class, obviously you've got nobody in front of you. It's nice to you can properly mark out your braking point and all that jazz. But here is Phil Vitt in the pink Audi R8 that we all know too well. I believe Machushka's not in this team. Oh, and he's rear-ended Conway. Conway's gone off and then hit him again. Yeah, that's not great into turn one. So they've both sort of lost out big time on that one. But yeah, he's pretty much just broke himself and hit him off the track there, Jesse. It's I think he's banged to rights on that one.
Yeah, this is the perfect segue into mentioning that we do have live stewarding for this entire championship today, anchored by Jake the Bosmeister Boswell. And he will likely be slipping me and Josh pieces of paper today for all penalties. Live stewards doing their best to make sure the racing is conducted safely and fairly out there on the track. And we applaud and thank them for their dedication as well. And we will bring you all penalty reports that end up on our desk, as their box is right beside ours. And occasionally we can even hear them shouting at each other, or perhaps at their monitor screens. I'm actually quite unsure. I just know that whenever Fabian Schmedberger's in there, he starts talking in German, and it scares me.
Okay, well, so German language scares you a little bit. Okay.
Well, when it's shouted at me, yes.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the big winner out of that one, Morgan McCall, he'll be happy with that. They sort of just crashed into each other in front of him, and he's sort of gained up 2 positions. And he was battling 0 for P12, but he's now battling him for P11, but now he's battling him for P9. So nice little 2-position gain there. But yeah, it does look like the front two are not checking out, but they pulled out a bit of a gap to Jardier, but left here in the number 166 Porsche coming under threat from the 147 Aston is a nice color purple. I know a particular American, Mike Jones, would probably be appreciating that color purple. But yeah, so far so good. We haven't had too much. Obviously, Phil Vitt did end up hitting Harry Conway off, but it looks like he let him back past anyway. So I'm sure the stewards will look at that and then look what happened after. Did he let him back past? Because usually if you let him back past, you sometimes can get away with it. So they've fallen to the back of the pro class now, or at least the ones we can see on screen, unless somebody had some absolute howlers at the start. But yeah, so 2x2, as they go, just treading along the track at the moment, just waiting for a chance. It's really, really early. And what did you say the max stint time was? Is it 40 minutes? Is it?
I think it is. It's 40 minutes, I do believe, somewhere in there. One of the creators of the event could probably tell you better. I think it is 40, but I could be incorrect about that. The problem with doing multiple series at the same time like we do is that each one has its own rules, and sometimes you forget. It's a big lunge there by Rommel trying to get the position on Jardier. It nearly came off, but of course Jardier saying, nope, not on my watch, son. You're going to have to do a little better than that. But almost a moment there, and look at him. Look at this. Is just the ebb and flow of racing, because that Lamborghini absolutely leaves the Porsche on corner exit, but look just how much that Porsche gains in corner entry and through the center of the corner. That car very clearly set up to handle, and that's exactly kind of what you want. This track very twisty, very medium speed, I would consider most of this racetrack, and that's sort of in the Porsche's wheelhouse there. But of course, on the big straightaways around here, that Lamborghini certainly has the advantage. So this is going to be a great battle to continue to watch. Look at the in-car view here. This is Rommel's in-car cam looking at the back of the 39 Lamborghini, just showing you how violent these curbs and how this must upset the car. I'm not sure if it upsets the driver because of how much practice they do around here, but just the amount of undulation they get off these curbs, it would scare me to do that, but they do it in such a controlled manner. It's almost pretty.
Yeah, it is, and I got to be honest, I don't usually take that much curb coming out onto the second part of the chicanes. Maybe that's where I'm going wrong, but that's what I was saying about Lucas Rommel earlier on. He will fill the mirrors, you know, getting lunging in on Giardier, but the Porsche on the brakes is well, I know it was pretty much the best in class, but obviously I know the recent BOP update. I haven't had a chance to test the cars myself, but yeah. So thanks to the guys in the chat and also one of the RCI staff here, Mike Jones, telling us that it's a 35-minute stint timer.
There it is.
So 35 minutes. The guys will have to come in and change drivers, get into the pits, and obviously that will tick off one of their mandatory pit stops as well, and they need to do 3 of those in the 2 hours. So Mark Whitford, Open Visor Racing Club in the McLaren, the 777. It's nice to see a McLaren. I think that's the only one in the Pro class. I do think Jordan Booth, I think, is in one in the AM class as well. I'm pretty sure I've seen that. I think Jordan Booth likes to use the McLaren whenever he's racing. But yeah, it looks like Macaulay is closing in on Ismail Lebrec as well for P5. But yeah, it's all pretty close. As you can see, the 2 there, and that's maybe a bit too much curb for Joe Macaulay, running a little bit wide. I guess it's all on car setup, I suppose, because whenever I hit those, I always end up in that fence. So
Yeah.
maybe it's car setup after all. But yeah, you know, this it's nice to see the Ferrari running well. Obviously, we got 2 of them at the moment in the top 5. You know, I'm quite a Ferrari fan, and I know I'm the Ferrari fan as to what Ryan Gill is Lamborghini. Let's just say that. Yeah, I'm a big Ferrari fan. So it's nice to see some doing well. And the superior Italian car at the moment is in P2, but so this Audi R8 is causing a little bit of a cork here to the cars behind. And I think we got one of the AM class guys. Oh no, he's actually 3 seconds back. I thought he was in amongst this as well, but he's just a bit too far back. But we're going on to the rear bumper camera now of the number 16 Audi. Let's see if the McLaren can gain on him down the straight. I know the Audi can be pretty good in a straight line, pretty slippery. It doesn't look like the McLaren's going to get anywhere near down the straight. He's actually coming under pressure from another Audi there. The number 404, I think that's Connection Loss Racing Team. He's going to go for the switchback now on the way down to turn 2. Didn't quite get it done. He lost traction there. I think he went in a little bit too deep. But up ahead, we got side by side as well. I think that's the purple Aston Martin 147 going to go down the inside of the hairpin, just a little bit ahead. It looks like he's got that done on the sort of khaki green color there. Almost looks like a military car. That one.
Yeah, it's very much OD green, and they got a little too much curb right there, but they were able to. It's amazing to me what these guys are able to save, you know, just in terms of like hitting a curb wrong and you know, going airborne and the way that they save it. I can tell you that there are a couple people that didn't save it. Incident on lap 1, turn 2 between the 301 and the 69 car. 15-second penalty awarded for the 69 for causing an incident. That was the yellow flag that some people astutely noticed. Also, lap 1, turn 3 incident, the 666 and the 101 drive-through penalty for the 666 car. Lap 2 incident, the one that we saw, I believe, the 555 and the 7, 15 seconds for the number 7 car, and that's second place in AM, the 7 car. So that's a bit unfortunate. And Nico, as always, the one with the slips of paper here, letting us know what's going on the race. Those are the only 3 penalties, but they are still throwing paper around in there. I can see it looks like a paper tornado right now. So they are still talking about and adjudicating on something. I just don't know what it might be. I reckon it has something to do with the 25 car.
Yes, I think it might do. I think it might do. The jury's still out on that one.
Do you know what I think we should do? We did this for the 12 hour. And I think we should do this again. I think we should use hashtag Ask the Booth in chat. If you have a question for us, hashtag Ask the Booth in chat, and we may answer some of them in the next 2 hours. I'd love to hear what you guys have questions about racing, motor racing, cars, stuff like that. Just me and Josh LaShawn here, just answering questions. We like we got a little political last time though in the Mercedes versus Ferrari F1 thing. I feel we got a little about there. But you know what though? It was lighthearted conversation, and I'll take that every day. And usually when I'm speaking about Mercedes, I'm cursing, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I thought we were both well behaved on the situation,
We sure were.
and we strongly disagree. So yeah, we did well. We did well. But yeah, here's Harry Conway. So he was obviously involved in the collision with Vitt in the number 25, 25 Audi. But he's making his way back up. He's actually chasing one of the AM drivers at the moment in the Mercedes. So is the AM driver going to fight it? Probably. He's a racing driver. He's probably going to fight it.
And he's well within his rights to do so.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, it's an overall race. Obviously, you know, we just you know, we put classes in. That's a fantastic move there, mine from Harry Conway. I don't think he had much chance or choice in the matter there. I think that's the 888, the 888 Mercedes, I think it is. Yeah. So he's going to slipstream it all the way back down towards turn 1. But yeah, that pretty much says to us that he's not going to fight that, because he had the chance. But we got the pink Audi in the background as well, having a look up the inside there, and he's going to get that done as well. So coming down towards turn 2, it looks like the Aston Martin's going to come back at him. He's going to have the inside line as well. That's brave. That's very, very brave from the Aston Martin, and he's got it done. It looks like he managed to scare him, but obviously that now turns into the outside line. This is great racing. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. That's 2 hits now for the pink Audi. Maybe I'll have to get some mission markings like they do on the aircraft. There we're getting two little missiles to go on the side of that. But yeah, I think that one's a little bit more within the rules. I think that one's a bit more of a racing incident. The other one maybe not so much.
Yeah, a lot of times these guys, they get into it and they don't mind a little bit of body contact. I know the driver that's not in the car is thinking, "What are you doing? Stop crashing the car, Samir." But when you're in the car and the red mist and the visor's down and everything, you don't mind a little bit of body contact. I don't think the stewards will care too much about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
what's that phrase? Rubbing is racing, something like that.
That's it. Yep. I live by that credo only because I'm not very good. But yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. You have fenders for a reason, is what I was taught growing up in racing, is that you have fenders for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they're there to take a little bit of the brunt at the end of the day. But yeah, so we're watching the Orion race team being driven by Matthias Egger at the moment. It looks like it's just back to business for those guys. Only a 2-second lead, but looked like King was going to come back at him in the early laps. But Egger's just sort of this is pretty much what they did last time. I watched these guys, and they just sort of methodically just go through the paces, and they just seem to get better and better as the race goes on. So hopefully I don't curse them, but if I do, it's your fault anyway. But yeah, it looks like I don't know, they're just such a good team. Obviously, we spoke to them. We spoke to them last weekend, and the way they spoke about each other, you could tell it's a real friendship, you know, and you can tell that they do this for fun, and also it's good that they can put the talent to use as well. So it's not very serious. You know, they say they take it serious, but it's not as if like it's scheduled to practice. They're just like, hey, do you want to come on? Yeah, let's do it. And obviously that sort of casual friendship, I think, is what's really, really pushing that team at the moment. That's the way I feel about it anyway. I think just that natural friendship is carrying them through, making the practice easy. It's not making it feel like a chore.
Yeah, I mean, I love Ishmael Lebrec. I like his involvement here at RCI, and I like that he's just down to race anytime, anywhere. And I must say, his team, the Occasionally On Time team, has not been anywhere near pace-wise where I expected them to be this season. But this is a positive sign. They're inside the top 5. They're fighting for positions. And I think some of this was done on the racetrack. I don't think they qualified this far up. So what a fantastic job. This is more what I expect. I believe every round prior to this, Josh, I mentioned, I was like, it's not what I've expected out of the number 9 team. I expected more. I don't know what their early season issues were, but right now they're not having any of it inside the top 5. We've got a lot of questions here coming into the booth. We're going to tackle that in 1 second. Do have a penalty for the 69 car. So that's an additional penalty. Lap 6, turn 2 incident between the 23 and the 69 car. 5-second penalty for the 69 car. That's 20 seconds of penalties for the 69 car already, and their day has not started off how they would have liked. Fabian Schmedberger, hashtag Ask the Booth, was your favorite F1 race this year? For me, it's going to be any one that a Mercedes didn't win, to be completely honest with you. I hate it when one team dominates. I mean, that's F1 in a nutshell. Oh my goodness. So many. We actually have adjudication decision for that incident that we saw. Lap 3, turn 1 incident involving the 25 car of, I think Phil Vitt's in that car right now. 5 seconds for the 25 car. So that is the penalty that they received for their part in that incident into turn 1. So, Josh, favorite F1 race of 2020 so far?
Whichever one Hamilton didn't win. No. Probably. You know, this is tough because I thought Mugello was great, just because it was chaos, and you know everybody just ran out of talent, and there was like 11 cars that finished. And it was nice to see some new tracks as well. You know, some new tracks that we don't really see. But to be honest, I've enjoyed them all, but in a different way, because obviously I'm a Ferrari fan, so obviously it's not been ideal.
Same.
But yeah, it's been really nice. It's been nice to see some some battles throughout the grid, and that's what I like. You know, that's what I like, the midfield. But that just back to the action here. Vitt now, he knows he's got that 5-second time penalty, and he's not happy at all. He's already he's already made contact with one of the other AM guys, and now he's behind another one. So he needs to be careful he doesn't pick up any more time, as the 888 Mercedes got very loose there, and that's going to open the door right up. And Vitt's got the inside line for the chicane, and he's going to send that up the inside, literally lick the stamp, and he has sent it.
To his credit, he made it though.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he made it. He knew his limits, but just a quick one that's been brought to my attention, that it looks like Tinko van der Velde and Joe McCauley had join order issues. So I think that was what their problem was earlier on. So the champ leaders missed the race because of that. Apparently so.
But they're in 6th place circulating right now.
Yeah, they are. So they must have had issues and sort of sorted that out.
Yeah, because I read that they missed the race, but they're out here, so I don't, unless we're seeing, it's too close to Halloween for this, but we may be seeing a ghost.
Very nice. Yeah, maybe. Well, I hope not. Because ghosts in racing games, God, they're awful. They really put me off when I got a ghost car on the track. But yeah, so the 166 Porsche, she's sort of holding up the military green Mercedes there, and the purple Aston. So it looks like what the point is, Jesse. It looks like they may get a penalty at the end of the race because they've sort of registered as 2 different cars. So I don't think they can do the stint time or something like that. It's one of the quirks with ACC driver swaps. I'm not up on it myself, but I guess we'll just worry about that at the end. Let's see where they can finish on merit, on their own doing first anyway. So this is probably the closest battle on track. We got a battle for P11 at the moment. It's pretty close. The gap back is under 3/10. And the one back to that is less than half a second as the Mercedes fills the camera there. Fills the camera. He's looking pretty aggressive. Nice early turn in as well to try and put off his rival, but looks like the purple Aston is going to get nice and close as well. So
yeah, he doesn't have a choice. Ripper does not have a choice. He has to get close because of the car behind him also wants to get by. That 147 would like to get by both these guys. But here we go. Is Marco Ripper going to pull out? Yes, he is, down to the inside. Marco Ripper down to the turn 1. This should be done and dusted by the time they exit the corner, but sometimes the outside can pull even, won't be able to do it. The 147 thinks about going down the inside, can't quite do it. Hold on a minute. Does Ripper still have a shot here? Yes, he is through, and that pass has been made. But for a second there, I thought LaFay was going to have a shot on him getting down into turn 2, but nothing doing. But he still has a mirror full of car, and that is going to be the 147, who will be next, who also looks like he's a bit racy earlier. He's going to send it right here. Oh, he nearly maybe does make contact with the Porsche, and everybody gets away there. That was one fender away from tears.
I don't know how he got it stopped. It was as if he just didn't brake. That was amazing. I'm really not sure how he didn't just plow into the side of him. That was great control on the brakes.
Oh my god! It looked like he was going to miss that corner, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm just gonna turn now, and he made it.
Yeah, he just gripped up, and there we go. But yeah, it looks like the 166 is starting to struggle a little bit. But we've got 10 minutes left on the stint. The guys will have to come in the next 10 minutes. They have to be in before 1 hour 25 minutes. So they have to come in before that, before the countdown timer reaches that. But yeah, look, he's super aggressive on the brake pedal. This is the kind of racing you want to see. Yeah, nice and close into pretty much every apex. Obviously, that is going to allow the Porsche to pull away, and we know the Porsche is great under traction as well. But is he going to be close enough into turn 1? Maybe not, but he looks like he's got confidence on the brakes. Is he going to send it? No, he's not, but he's forced the Porsche to kind of hug the inside there, so he may get a nice run on him down towards turn 2, but probably not close enough this lap. But yeah, I've got to say that the Aston looks pretty smart in that purple colour. I wouldn't never really go for a purple Aston Martin myself, but we jump straight to the number 9, Ishmael Lebrec, coming under pressure from Joe McCauley as well. Hopefully they don't pick up a penalty, but they're running well. P5, P6. I think he's been really close to the number 9 for probably around pretty much the entirety of this race so far. So he's fallen for the Hungaroring trait of I can't get past you, get out of my way mood at the moment. But Ishmael Lebrec, he doesn't care, because as long as you're fast in the right places at Hungaroring, it doesn't matter. He can't get past you in this sector. You don't really mind.
So we're being told that there was some sort of start order infraction with the championship leaders, who are the car right behind this, the red and white Mercedes. We think that they have split off from each other, or something in that matter has gone awry. But Joe McCauley is in that car right now. We'll see what happens on the pit stop. And our server admins seem to think that if what they believe has happened, they will get a massive penalty at the end of this race by the sim. So we're not quite sure, but all we do know right now is that Joe McCauley and Tico Vandervelde are in 6th place in the 66, hunting down 5th place. Ishmael Lebrec will be none the wiser of any of this information, or would he care if he did have it, because he doesn't want to give up this position regardless. So a lot of things going on.
Yeah, a lot of things going on, and what is going on at the moment for Ishmael Lebrec is his mirrors are getting filled by that red Mercedes of Joe McCauley, the man we were just talking about. Well, that team, at least the Sidemax team, number 66. He seems to get very close to him coming around turn 5, heading up to the chicane. But like I say, you've got to be brave. We've seen a move there. We've already seen a move there today, going into the chicane. I think it was number 25, wasn't it? It was Vit, I believe, sort of sent it up the inside. It can be done, but yeah, you got to be super brave. But Ishmael Lebrec, no rookie to say the least. He knows what he's doing, and I'm sure he's raced Joe McCauley a lot as well. I know I've casted some races with both of these guys in, so they know what they're doing. Let's put it that way. And he is getting super close to him now. But looks like he just seems to lose him a little bit, but he looks pretty close this time. It looks like Lebrec's running a little bit wide there as well, so that's not going to help. That's not going to help coming down the straight. But the Mercedes is fast. We've seen this a lot last week as well. So in that slipstream, can he get close enough to him to maybe pressure him into turn 2? It's all about the exit now. But the Ferrari's gonna get a lovely bit of pull out of there. It was nice and clean from Ishmael Lebrec again. So he's sort of got his number at the moment. He just needs to stay on his toes and not make any mistakes before the pit stop. And obviously, get your teammate in and let them push on as well. So that's what's so good about driver swap races. Obviously, it's one big race, but you're gonna get completely different drivers in the next 6 minutes or so. It's gonna be completely different drivers in the same cars, but some people have better drivers, if that makes sense. So the number 1 driver and sort of the number 2 driver. Not saying that they're any better or any worse, but in some teams that is the case. I'm usually the 2nd driver in my team, put it that way. So if we need to go and chase some quali laps, I'm not the guy for that. So like we know, Jardier is an absolute monster at overtaking. He's only made 1 position. Obviously, that was on the first lap. He's just sort of trying to keep in touch with Darren King, but looks like the 126 Mercedes is just, again, sort of 15 minutes ago it was 2.2 seconds, and now it's 5.1. They just methodically pull away. It's quite fascinating to see how they just don't stop. The pace is just there all the time with those guys.
Yes, indeed. It looks like Lebrec is going to go into pit road there to do their pit stop, so that will stop that battle. He will attempt the undercut, the number 9 team. Got a couple other interesting questions as pit stops begin to cycle through here. Vanta Blue asked, hashtag Ask the Booth, apart from endurance racing, what are your favorite racing series and why? For me, it's simple. British touring cars. Love British touring cars. I love British touring cars since I was a kid. Strangely enough, Josh, we actually have always got that on TV here to a lot of British people. Yeah, to a lot of British people's surprise. We have routinely had BTCC action on U.S. television, and the very same V8 supercars in Australia. I'm a Shedden fan, by the way, and I'm also a Frosty fan for V8 supercars. So those are 2 things that aren't technically endurance racing, and I love it. I love them for the same reason, because, well, you have fenders and you use them, and it's fantastic, exciting racing, and you have multiple races over a weekend, so it's not just one race and you're done, and it's very, very interesting. And of course, there's also field inversions and some of that stuff like that. I've always really enjoyed that. So what about you? What are some other things other than endurance racing that you enjoy? Don't say Formula 1.
I'm not going to say Formula 1, but my outright favourite racing series is actually Formula 2. Only because even cars, apart from setups and obviously different teams, but the racing in that is everything Formula 1 should be, but everything Formula 1 will never be, because we have manufacturers and we have big sponsors, and it's the nature of Formula 1. It's the circus that follows it round. It's never going to be even across the board. But yeah, F2, honestly, go and watch some of the highlights from last season's races. It's epic. But yeah, so pretty much everybody in this race, that was running in the top 5 at least, or top 6, has pitted, apart from our race leader, Matthias Egger. Looks like they're going to drag out the stints as far as they can. So I imagine he'll be coming in this lap and get his teammate Barazini in the hot seat to try and pull a bigger lead as well. But looks like the guys, pretty much everybody's coming in now. It looks like Matthias Egger was sort of, he had no intention of pitting. He's running pretty well. Why would you end the stint early? Just run it to the maximum you can. Get your teammate in and do the same thing. They've got the nice clean track at the moment, so why not make the most of it while you have it?
Absolutely, indeed. And also, Fabian Schmedberger meant favorite race of the season so far has to be Nürburgring for us. That endurance race that we ran at the Nürburgring in the wet conditions, where maybe it was dry, maybe it quite wasn't dry, and a lot of mistakes and chaos. And I love a race where I have to wake up the next day and read the points out for it to make sense to me, as now Matthias Egger has decided to come in to do their pit stop just shy of the time limit. He will give way to his teammate in the 1-2-6, and barring some major hiccup here on pit road, would almost certainly still be the leader of the race. Morgan McCall in the 999 Lamborghini will probably come into pit road here as well. Yes, indeed. We haven't talked about them, but they are certainly doing a decent job here today as well. They've kept their nose clean through the first part of this race. Still got 2/3 of the event left to go. This is the second place car in AM class, the 722 ADSP. And Hawa is going to come in again. All these cars right there on the limit of their stint timers. These guys are really pushing their luck, because if they don't get that driver change, they're going to violate the stint timer, and the sim is going to give them a penalty.
Yeah, it is. And I just noticed on the timing tower there down the on the left-hand side of the screen, it looks like Bossele and the 137 Porsche really lost out to Yas Heat, the number 39 Jardier and Valentin Barrier. They've sort of really far back now, and it looks like the number 39's got very close to Sean Arnold as well in the 38, the Fordzilla team. So it looks like the number 39 must have had a perfect alignment in the pit stop there. They seem to have gained a lot of time on everybody else, which is which is good for those, good for them. So yeah, Barazzini's in the car. He's still in the lead. I don't know where he is on the track at the moment. Looks like he's going around turn 5, I believe it is. Yeah, turn 5. So yeah, about 4.3 seconds behind. So it looks like staying out that bit longer hasn't cost them at all. But yeah, the fight now for P2 is a lot closer than it was before the stops. And Cody Blanton as well in the number 9, obviously replacing Ishmael Lebrec, is also a lot closer to the 137 Porsche of Bossele. A lot closer than they were before the pit stop. So the pit stops is really, that was so close to that back marker then. Oh my, I honestly thought that was it.
I thought, I was like, that's not the usual line through there. And then I saw a Lamborghini attempting to not be a factor in this battle. But they are going to be side by side, as Barrier is going to try to go around the outside of the penultimate corner here. Can't quite get it done. He's going to very nearly go into the back of Sean Arnold. Does he get him? No, he doesn't. But they're going to be nose to tail coming out in the front straightaway.
Yeah, it was great stuff. Great stuff. That was opportunist from Barrier as well. Thought, he's seen him make get a little bit of a twitch, so he thought, right, I'm going to get in here quick. And just to touch on the number 66 car as well, obviously Joe McCauley, it looks like obviously the server issues, they can't seem to select the car there for Van der Velde, so I think that's why we've seen him disappear on the timing tower on the left-hand side. So unfortunately, that penalty did catch up with them. Well, it's not a penalty, but you're pretty much out of the race, so doesn't really get much worse than that. But so it looks like those guys have had to slap out of the race for now. But I'm sure they'll be back in the next round. Unfortunately, a technical issue or a mechanical failure, as we like to call it. We don't like to blame the PCs too often, but it is what it is. But yeah, Sean Arnold, I think he got away with one. Barrier was all over him, and he defended it really well coming up to the last corners. They also got a little bit of traffic in front as well. I believe that's a Lexus in front of them. So how is this going to impact them? It looks like it's going to impact Sean Arnold a lot here. He's very lucky there. The Lexus did very well to pull out of the way as quickly as he could. Then this is Hungaroring through and through. It's so hard to get out of the way. It's just not enough room for three cars to go around the same corner.
You're absolutely right. And look, these lap cars are doing the exact right thing. And it's just like Josh said, it's incredibly hard to pull these sort of maneuvers off without giving up a lot of time, giving up time to other people. And it's sort of why I like this track, because it's impossible to get away from people. It's impossible to pass people, even if they are on a different lap than you and they're giving way, as you've just seen. Every single time Arnold has to get by somebody, Barrier is right up the back of that Ferrari. And here they go again down the front straightaway. He will not be close enough this time, Barrier, to try a move down into turn 1. But he will cut a little late and get that run into the center of the corner and get right up behind him. This is not what you want. This is not what Sean Arnold wanted when he got into the car. He wanted a few minutes of peace and quiet to get settled into this race, and he is not having any of that. Valentin Verrier all over the back of him, and that is that is a lonely feeling as a race car driver whenever you're trying to get your sight in, get your eye in, and feel out the car, and you can't do it. All of a sudden, you have to immediately go on the defense.
Yeah, especially, you literally just jumped in the car. You want to get a few feeler laps in. And yeah, you can't, because your feeler laps are defending from a car that is obviously, a driver that's literally just got in and sort of clicked straight away. But I suppose when you're chasing, it's easier to sort of get in that zone quicker, because obviously, you can see your objective. Arnold can't really see first place. I don't think. He might just be able to see him going around the next corner, going around turn 12. But yeah, Barrier's got the bit between his teeth now. He needs to try and get this done, but this is what driver swapping, that's why it's awesome, because, King had settled into a rhythm, and obviously Jardier was doing his bit as well, and, they weren't really getting close to each other, and then, look, we got two different drivers, and it looks like the tables have turned. Obviously, Sean Arnold just needs to try and fend this off. I don't think, I don't think Barrier is going to be able to stay on the attack all for his 35 minutes. It's quite tough. You may need to sit back and come back at him later on. But Arnold seems to have settled in a bit now. But that Lamborghini's closing speed is crazy. But he actually runs a little bit deep there into turn 1, so that's going to help Sean Arnold pull away. The gap's probably going to be around sort of 6/10s at the moment. But yeah, Sean Arnold's doing his bit at the moment, so I'm sure Darren King will be cheering him on there as well. And so we've got Jason Isherwood here as well in the 147. He's got Lima for company in the bright coloured 675 Aston Martin as well. So here we go. Is he going to make a move to the inside down into turn 1? It looks like he's going to move nice and early and basically just block past him, but looks like the 147 of Isherwood, no, he doesn't even get the switchback done. He's actually going to come under pressure now from Matager in the connection loss racing car. So he's going to have the outside into the hairpin, which will eventually be the inside line. A little bit of contact, but nothing too major. So it's definitely going to impact the connection lost team to get that position going into turn 3, turn 4. But yeah, that was some great racing, but you almost lost 2 positions there, the 147.
Yeah, that's the risk you run around here, around many tracks. In fact, I feel like the 147 at Isherwood kind of just let that happen, kind of let Lima have it. One of those deals of, okay, you caught me, I'm going to let you go. I don't want to slow myself down too much, and then put themselves right in danger with the 404 Audi of Matcha there. So that's sort of the risk that you run. That is, it's risk versus reward around here, and all sorts of sideways is Bart Matcha there, who has now fallen off the back, and you can see why. He's actually fighting the car a little bit all of a sudden here in the middle sector of the racetrack. So just one more thing that you have to worry about here is, well, your setup's compromised. We haven't ever really talked about that, but your setup's compromised because it's set up for 2 different people, so it's not going to be perfect for both. It could be, you could be the one that kind of gets the raw deal, as you see him sawing at the wheel a little bit. Tobias Geider up here in 9th place has Alistair Gillies all over him. Alistair looking really far, really ambitiously down into the inside.
Yeah, he really wanted to see all the track there, didn't he?
he's perhaps just trying to let Geider know that, I've got the pace, I've caught you, and I'm going to do that to you one of these times, and that move's going to come off.
Yeah, exactly. Don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be that easy for you. In the next couple of laps, he's really pushing the 166. Lovely livery too. The sort of the grey and white, or the grey and silver, looking pretty good. But one thing I do want to point out, obviously we got James Parker in the number 44 Aston Martin in that. I believe we spoke about this earlier on, the Project Alien team. I believe he's with Dedicek. So, they've got their sort of alien in the car, if you will. He's currently chasing Schumacher in the number 42 Lexus. And yeah, I did see somebody in the chat say, wait, do I see the name Schumacher? Yes, you do. He is our local Schumacher here at RCI. And it's great to see M Schumacher on the timing tower. I got to say, it's pretty cool to see, and pretty cool to say that name in a in our own races. It's great. So yeah, he's getting nice and close now, isn't he, Gillies? He's had enough now. He wants to get past this the Mercedes, the GC Racing car 514. He wants to get this car out of the way. So let's see if the Porsche can outperform them, the Mercedes down the straight and into the first braking zone on the circuit here at Hungaroring. It doesn't look like he's going to be close enough, but the Porsche is pretty good on the brakes. He's going to go and have a look a little bit over there, see what's going on that side of the track. Almost reminiscent of when Michael Schumacher rammed Barrichello into the wall there. I believe that was Hungaroring, where he almost ploughed him into the wall. He squeezed him that far over, but yeah, looking pretty good, looking pretty racy. It's been a great race so far. There has been moves happening, but I think most people are falling for the Hungaroring traits. But for the most part, it's been pretty action-packed, as the Triple Eight has been involved in a lot. He's under pressure from his class P2 as well, and he's also chasing Seb Brunier as well on the 777. I think that's the Open Visor Racing team, so looking pretty good. He's actually going to try and get around the outside of him there, but not quite. Couldn't quite get it done, but yeah, he's got a great run here going up to turn 4. So this is an AM car now, trying to get past some of the pros. They're going to go side by side, turn 4. That is brave. That's brave stuff, but he's going to get it done. The Triple Eight. Well, what is he going to keep it though? Is he going to keep it though? It doesn't look like. He's now going to be forced out wide, and he's under pressure now from Serafini Danesi, sorry, in the 722. This is great stuff between some AM and pros as well, and we got another pro turning up as well. But look at it, this is great stuff. But he's been forced out, and he's had to let it go. And that's smart racing from the Triple Eight, because he doesn't want to pick up a penalty by going off the road. So wow,
it is a miracle that nobody got turned around right there. That was a bunch of cars into quarter panels and into fenders, and nobody got turned around. I cannot believe that. I withdrew into my chair, folks at home. I thought for sure that Sebastian Brunier was going for a spin, and he still could be going for a spin, and is indeed going for a spin. Sebastian Brunier goes for a spin. I believe that was the 722 that turned him around there. Just as I was saying that they had avoided danger, danger found them, and that is not what you wanted to see happen after they had just gotten away with several incidents that could have ended that way. One finally does, and Roward has decided this is the time to take the lead for the AM class. By the way, this fight's still going. Oh, and a touch pushes him off the track, does Roward. Roward not playing games here, absolutely running him out of room. What rebuttal can we expect from the 722?
That's awesome stuff. He sort of got bullied off the track last lap, and he's like, right, okay, I'm going to bully you off the track. Have some of that. But unfortunately, Danesi there, he may pick up a penalty from actually clashing with a pro class car as well. So he may pick up, a 5-second penalty for that incident. Very, very similar to the one we've seen with Vitt, and I believe it was Conway earlier on. So, I think there may be a 5-second penalty coming his way. Depends on the stewards see it. Obviously, they have all the angles. We do not. We see it once, and that is all. So, it would be a shame to lose 5 seconds in your class by clashing with a pro, a pro car. But obviously, like you said earlier on, you are entitled to. But it's if you're gonna clash with cars, you don't want to be losing positions in your class because you've accidentally clashed with one of the guys that was faster than him at the time. But Danesi just great on the brakes in that Aston. Great racer Danesi. Me and him have had we've had plenty of battles on track. Me and Danesi, we race in another league, PCDC. I'm sure you've heard of them. They race here as well. So we've had some great battles, and I know what he's like, and he will be kicking himself about that because he sort of outbroke himself. Gosh. But also the McLaren got a bit hard on the brakes as well. But go on, Jesse. What's up?
I am going to attempt to pronounce his name.
Okay.
Serafini Danesi.
Perfect.
Right. I did a thing.
He's,
there are a lot of
he's
penalties.
Italian as well.
Is he?
Alan Serafini Danesi. Yeah. He usually races in the Ferrari. I'm quite shocked to see him in the Aston Martin. Actually,
he is letting his entire country down. Speaking of letting their country down, I have some penalties to read. One earlier. This was about 15 minutes ago. I'm afraid I didn't see this one. 5-second penalty for the 555 causing a collision, and more recently, 5-second penalty for the 301 causing a collision. That was on lap 3, and more recently on lap 13, 5-second penalty for the 23 causing a collision with the number 13 car, and on lap 16 in the first turn, 5-second penalty for the 34 causing a collision with the 224 down into turn 1. And those are your penalties currently. Certainly, I don't know for sure, but I do know Mark Whitford, and I would imagine he is going to be on the phone with race control about being spun there by another car. So certainly be interested to see what the outcome of the 722 and the 777 incident is. But as for right now, I can see them working in there, so they're definitely working on something. And here's Dustin Worst. Dustin Worst, we haven't talked much about the Worst Brothers or the Worst Bros team. They've sort of just been in the mix here. I'm used to seeing them further up the grid, but I think, if anything, I think maybe their bad luck has to do with this paint job that looks like it's straight out of 1986.
You said it. Yeah, say I'm used to seeing them a little bit higher up, but you know, maybe it's just maybe they didn't get the setup right, or you know, they may have been caught up in some incident somewhere along the line. But they've got Mikael Sundström, you know, a name we all know so well, in the 899 Audi. He's waiting to try and basically just stalking his prey now in Sundström. Oh, he actually gets a little bit of grass there as well.
I heard Raceface had a session earlier that if you used some sort of promo code, you would get like a dollar off or something like that. So that's very nice of them, and thank you guys for everything that you do for us. All of our partners at the bottom of the screen, and I'm pretty sure they're in the description. Give them a look, and thank you for watching. And of course, if you like what you see, why not leave a like and subscribe for more RCI action. We are here many days of the week, and I withdrew in my chair again because I thought Isherwood was going to send it on Dustin Worst right there. Oh. That was interesting. Huh. No, yeah, Josh, I can hear you just fine. I don't know what's going on, but I think our satellites are getting messed up right now. But yes, for those of you interested in driver coaching or race coaching, you can come to our Discord also in the description and visit the hashtag driver coaching channel for more race face info. Be nice to do that. I actually might take them up on that myself. I could use a little bit of professional coaching, and certainly it.
Okay, so it looks like we're just having a bit of a bit of a technical issue. We'll find out if I can be heard here on there now. So not sure what's going on there, but hopefully I'm back. So Jesse, you were
Yeah.
saying you were going to try and
Get
get
some
some
driver coaching.
driver
Yeah.
coaching yourself.
I definitely need it, and I mean, why not Raceface? Raceface has incredible professionals, right? So I don't remember who it was, but they said that they had 3 or 4 lessons, and it melted 3.5 seconds off their time, and it's one of those things. It's like I don't believe that, but because I have seen their before and after, I know in fact that they're 100% right. I mean, it absolutely works. So why not go ahead, sign up Raceface, join our Discord, hashtag. What is it? I've already forgotten. What is it? It's hashtag.
At the booth.
No, I think it's hashtag driver coaching in our Discord. Absolutely lost
Yeah, it is.
the hashtag.
Yeah, it's the driver coaching channel on the RCI main Discord. But in the meanwhile, Ostley lost the position to Cody Blanton, and then he got it back, and then he lost it again in the space of 3 corners. Not ideal, not ideal. But my pick to win the race isn't doing a bad job, but they got a lot to do to win the race from here. But I think everyone's got a lot to do to stop that 126 Orion race team. They
They're feeling it.
yeah, they're just a well-oiled machine at the moment. They just keep going and going and going. They just don't stop. So, and it looks like Sean Arnold obviously did fend off Barrier as well for the meantime. But yeah, thankfully we got all the technical issues out of the way. We do apologise, but it's not always in our control. But we have no idea what it was.
Our producer could not hear us, which is great for us, bad for him.
Yeah, because of course, if the producer can't hear us, the stream can't hear us. So not ideal.
I don't think that. Oh my goodness! And Isherwood decides to go rallying here. I'm not sure rallying's a big thing here at Hungaroring, but he certainly does. That will mean he does give up that position to Mitja Bonka in the 25, who's on a recovery drive from that spin and penalty earlier in the race. So he gets that position freebie style. Doesn't even have to fight a man for it. But of course, Isherwood is not going to let that go. But Isherwood's going to be under attack from Woolworth. Woolworth there thinking about going around the outside, can't quite do it, has to fall back in line. And all of a sudden, the hunter becomes the hunted. And, oh, man, racing is very interesting that way because all of a sudden, one guy gets by you, the cork comes out of the bottle, and, well, you're the fizzy drink left inside.
Yes, that is it. That is sometimes how it goes in racing. But yeah, Wolmuth in the 16 Audi, looking to get past as well because obviously he wants to get up the road and try and keep up with the number 25, the pink Audi, which we've seen involved in some good racing and also a little bit of an incident earlier on in the race with Conway, but that was a different driver, same car. So we're going to go back to the fight we were with sort of 10-15 minutes ago with Gillies trying to chase the military coloured Tobias Gaida GC Racing. These guys seem to have been doing this for, well, pretty much since the pit stops, but I thought for a second there he was going to send that at the inside.
It looks like he's going to do that.
Yeah, it does. I think he's just trying to offset him a little bit, just try and make him go, oh god, he's gonna come up the inside there, and try and get a little bit of a twitch on the steering wheel. But yeah, Guider's not having any of it. He's like, yeah, you mate, no worries, you do that as much as you want. But yeah, this is he just can't seem to get past him. This is what I was trying to say earlier on before the race started. It doesn't matter how fast you are, you need to be fast in basically coming out of the last corner. Give yourself half a chance. Because if you can get alongside in turn 1, you can pretty much be side by side till turn 4. But looks like we had a quick blink of a yellow flag there as well at turn 4 somewhere on. But and it looks like Denasi earlier on, I haven't had the official wording yet, but in the game he's got a 15-second time penalty for the little tap he gave Seb Brunier at the final. Not the final turn, but turn 13. So hopefully we get the official word on that. I'm sure Jesse will bring that to us once he gets that piece of paper. I don't think I'm trusted with pieces of paper yet. Jesse is
I
the
mean,
paper collector.
I mean, you are. It's just that Nico walks in here and he hands it to me because he thinks it's funny having me deliver bad news to people. And I do have some bad news. Well, remember that incident involving the 722 and the 777? Well, the stewards have decided 15-second penalty for the 722 for causing a collision with the 777. That will likely be served on the upcoming pit stop. So that is the penalty for that. That is done and dusted. Well, I mean, they still have to finish it. I've actually been ordered by somebody in chat here, Josh, to apologize for that terrible analogy. I won't apologize for it, but I am sorry it wasn't better.
Oh, okay. I think I know the one they mean.
The champagne in the bottle cork thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't
Yeah.
my best work.
No, but it works. It makes sense. It looks like we've got Schumacher in the pits as well, so it's a little bit earlier than expected, but obviously it does fit in with the stint time anyway. So they're able to do that with a bit of time in hand as well. So that's probably our first pit stop of the second round of pit stops that we're going to have. And it looks like he was under a lot of pressure from James Parker there. He was only 7/10 behind him when he pitted, so I'd probably get out of the way as well. To be honest with you, I really wouldn't want James Parker hunting me down. Probably knock me off my game a little bit as well. So obviously he's going to get his teammate back in the car now in the number 42. And he's going to plow on before he hands it back to Schumacher for the final stint. Isherwood is also pitted, and I think that's probably a good call from the team. He was on the back foot from pretty much the word go here in his second stint. I don't know why that is. What happened there? Maybe the setup, like you said earlier on, you're going to have a compromise, and maybe one driver is going to be the one that suffers more, and maybe that was Isherwood's problem there. But yeah, Seb Brunier's pitted as well, so they are slowly making their way in for the pit stops, the second round of the pit stops, that is. So if you're Gillies now, do you try and do something different? Do you do what Guida doesn't do? You know, do you go in? Do you stay out? You've got to do the opposite at this point, I think. There's no point being sat behind him for the next, 59 minutes potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I would go in right now. Personally, I'm sort of stuck behind him. And if I'm Gillies, I got to feel like I'm a little bit faster than Geider right now. A little bit faster than the Mercedes. I'd come in right now. I'd get the pit stop out of the way and hope you leapfrog him. And if you don't leapfrog him, then, well, actually, that's going to be done dusted. It's going to be the opposite of that. Geider is going to go ahead and go in, and that's exactly what Gillies wanted.
I wouldn't have done that. I was literally about to say flip side of that. If you're Guider, you want to be staying out there for as long as you possibly can, because you are literally holding him up. But there you go. Obviously, maybe he was having issues, tires. Maybe that's why he was slower in the first place. Like you say, we don't know. We can only see what we see. We can make assumptions all we want, but 80% of the time they're not correct. But we try our best to give you our thoughts, and obviously you guys in chat have your own thoughts as well. And everybody's got their feelings of what's going on in the cars, and that's what makes commentary and viewing so special for me. Obviously, every person that you watch a race with is so different.
Trust me, we're really special in the booth. If you do not know who this man is, Fulvio Berrezzini, if you haven't seen him all race, well, that's because he's somewhere around 6 to 10 seconds out in front of the field. He qualified second and immediately jumped on Darren King to take the lead down into turn one on the opening lap. That's pretty much all she wrote. This team, the winner of RCI's 12-hour of Bathurst race 6 days ago. They've not fared too terribly well in this championship, but they are still in the hunt. I talked a lot in the pre-race about Darren King with that pole position, with the ability to claw their way back into this championship. What would this win mean for the Orion Racing team, who are the team behind the Fordzilla team right now in the standings? This would be big for them. This would be the same story for them. If they win this race, they're right back in the thick of this championship, especially with the 66 having problems today.
Yeah, it is exactly. You know, the championship leaders are not going to be getting any points today, so you need to try and maximise your points outcome, as many as you can, which obviously is the aim of the game anyway. But you know, you've pretty much been given a freebie. You know, with the championship leaders not scoring any points. But here we go. We have Yaroslav Honzik in number 39 Yas Heat car. He's exiting the pits after doing a driver change with his teammate Valentin Barrier. So they've come out in P4. It looks like that may be a net P2. Darren King is quite far back. I don't know what's happened there. Maybe that's the timing screen not updated. Okay, yeah, it's the timing tower's changed. Yeah, that is my bad. Sorry for getting everybody excited. So the gap is around 3.5 seconds. As you can see on the timing screen there, the producer has changed it to the real time for a split second, so we can see that before it updates on the mini sectors. So Danesi still second place at the moment in the AM class. But oh, Jardier is going to go mowing the lawn there on the exit to turn 7.
This, gentlemen, this is not a rally course. I don't know why they insist. You know what it is? They don't like the course in its current configuration. They're simply attempting to make it in their own image.
Okay. It seems to be that corner as well. That's
Yeah,
twice we've
very
seen
much so.
a bit of rally in there. But yeah, I wouldn't advise it in a GT3 rear-wheel drive. Put it that way. Yeah, not ideal.
I was just about to say that Lamborghini never made a rally car, but I think that SUV Dakar vehicle counts. So I suppose they have.
Yeah, I think it does count. It does count. It's a severe version of rally, but yes, it counts. It's off-road. It's four-wheel drive. It's got big tires.
What do they call it? What do they call it? Dakar. I know why they call it Dakar because of the Paris to Dakar rally, but why don't they call it Severe Rally? I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, you like that? Severe rally.
I do like
Severe
that.
Rally Championship.
Like, you know, it does what it says on the
SRC.
tin, doesn't it?
It does, because it is severe rally. That's what it is. It's like rally, but just severe. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, we like a bit of rallying here in Wales, Jesse. We like a bit of rally. We have our own rally. We also have Elfyn Evans as well, doing quite well in WRC at the moment. We like a bit of rally here.
We do. I completely forgot that. I asked the booth question earlier. I completely forgot about like rally. I was a big Colin McRae fan back in my teenage years. By the way, for anybody wondering, love that man. What a absolutely wonderful talent, Colin McRae.
Yep, the people's champion. The people's champion that he is. And Andre Felix is under pressure from the number 99 Ferrari. We won't talk about the paint job because Jesse's already quite annoyed about that.
No, I love it. It literally looks like an 80s pair of those plastic sort of vinyl pants. I forget what they're nylon pants. That's nice. Exactly what it looks like to me. I love it. Oh, and he's actually going to go wide because he's listening to the broadcast and he's offended, and he's going to go wide. And Stephen Wurst is going to go back through here. So you tick the box, and now you have to untick it because now you have to make that pass all over again, and that's just frustrating.
Yeah, and obviously he's played his cards there as well. So he's shown his favoured move into turn 1. So I'm sure Andre Felix now is going to know that he's going to prefer the inside. So if I'm Andre Felix and he gets close to me again, I'd be forcing him to the. You can take the outside this time, pal. It's not going to be as easy this time. Let's wait and see what he can do. And the Phoenix Racing Portugal team, Andre Felix, running pretty well, actually. I think that car was under threat a little bit earlier on in the race, but they seem to have sort of overcome that and held their P13. I think they've been around P13, P12 for a while. Obviously, we've got McCall in the pits as well in the 999 Lamborghini. He's going to drop down the order now. Not sure where they're going to come out, but here is the occasionally on time racing team. But thankfully today they were on time and they did make the start, which is always good. He's under pressure from Zero now, number 42 Lexus. He's had enough. He wants to get past, but these guys have been back and forth in the race as well, and obviously they were having a battle with Joe McCauley as well, but obviously that team had to drop out. So this could have been a three-way fight if that technical issue hadn't happened, but these things happen. Hopefully they can get him back into the round 5 next week, same time on RCI TV as well. So moving on back to real time. Not worrying about next week just yet. I do like the Lebrec. I do like that car because he always runs like a black car, doesn't he? And I'm pretty sure Cody Blanton always likes a bit of purple on his, so it looks like they've come to some sort of compromise there, and they're gone, right, okay, it can be predominantly black, but I want my purple stripe on it as well.
I did not even remotely grasp that that is what happened to that car, and I knew both of those things, but my brain would not accept that that's what's happened there. That is actually, but I like that sort of team cohesion. I once ran a race with Ryan Gill, and he didn't even let me have a single one of my favorite colors on the car.
I bet it was a Lamborghini.
Do you know it wasn't actually?
Oh.
we refused to run the Lamborghini, but he didn't let me have red, white, or blue on the car. Actually, he did let me have blue on the car because he wanted the car to be blue. But I digress from Ryan Gill, the tyrant, and I will continue talking about Stefan Zero. This is one of the teams. They are third in this championship, and they stand to gain big here today. If they can gain a few more positions and minimize the point gap between them and Darren King, this could very quickly turn into a story of those two teams as we go deeper into this championship. Zero probably, I think it's almost inevitable actually, will be promoted from third in the championship to second after this race is over. So every point vital already in the top 5, but looking for more. Could be a really big day. Here's the 722 that has served that 15-second penalty on their second stop. Howa back in that car, but look who's right behind them, the car that they spun. Oh dear, this is awkward.
Yeah, this one's not going to be, obviously, like I said, we got the two different drivers in now, but so it wasn't the two drivers that were involved, but you know, that 777 car is not going to be too happy, shall we say, with what happened earlier on at turn 13. Like I said, I don't think it was intentional, but these, you know, it is what it is. And obviously they didn't give the place back, which is probably why the penalty was a bit more severe than the one we seen earlier on for Vit, the number 25. So I think that's probably why we've seen that decision from the stewards, and I think that makes perfect sense. Obviously, if you let the guy back, you've probably lost a lot of time to let him back through anyway. So obviously, you know, you can have a smaller penalty, or sometimes, depending on the incident, you can get away with it as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be not personal because it wasn't these two, but the teams are going to be. They're not going to want to let this one go easily. But I don't know how far Howa is back from the AM leader. But obviously they were fighting on track at the time. But it looks like it's quite a bit. It's around 15.6 seconds now that he is behind the AM class leader. And the 166 Porsche, again, they seem to be on the hunt all the time. It's not on the Mercedes that they were chasing earlier on, but now they're chasing McCall in the 999. Is there two McCalls in that team? I believe there is, because I'm pretty sure I've seen that name for the entire time. Is it J McCall and M McCall? I think it might be. I might need to check that one on the spotter guide. So, oh, that's very, very aggressive defending from McCall in the 999. That was like, he sent him one way and then decided, no, I'm blocking you. Nice stuff. That was almost open wheel style defending, you know, with a lot of downforce, and you can change direction nice and quickly. But that was nice. Really nice. I love that. I love that aggression.
I do indeed. By the way, you're absolutely correct. That's Morgan McCall in that car. He is teamed up with Junior McCall. I'm not sure if that's a brother or a father-son team or something like that. It could be a father-daughter team. We've had that before, actually, as well. So don't
Yeah,
exactly.
I thought I'd seen that name a few times. I'm thinking to myself, am I going crazy here or what?
No, absolutely. That is a family relation team. I'll just say that because I'm unsure of their relation. I would assume it's a brother team, as is very common here. I would love to get all of the sibling brother teams in a race together and just have that as a race. Mike Jones, if you're listening, can we have that? Can we invite all of the teams, like the Worst, the McCalls, like all of them, and just have them in the same race? I would love to have the Ryan Meenans fighting the worst again.
Yeah, I was going to say the Ryan Meenans. Obviously, they're quite a regular here. That would be awesome. A driver swap, sibling rivalry race. Not
That
sibling rivalry, but sibling battle, I guess.
Oh, do you know what would be really annoying? If we
Yeah,
randomized who their teammate was
yeah,
and we
pair them
pitted
up.
them against each other.
That would be awesome as well. Oh well, we don't get paid the big bucks to make the championships here, Jesse. We just get to call it, and that is the fun part, in my opinion.
Oh,
And yes, we have been told that the McCalls are brothers.
yeah, and
The more you know. The more you know.
apparently Junior is Junior in every sense of the word. So that's absolutely fantastic, and they're from South Africa. So some more ZA representation here in RCI. There's some things we are not short of international representation. It's almost like we are RCI for a reason, but the South African love that we get from the South African community and the amount of teams whenever we put on a big event that have all ZA drivers is impressive. And when they come to play, and some of the happiest times I've ever seen Mr. George Smith, fellow South African, is when I don't remember what team it was. It was a ZA team in a Porsche winning at Kilami. I thought he cried a little, I'll admit.
Yeah, I can imagine he did, and I don't think Harry Conway's going to cry, but he's got the 404 car, Martin Lawrence, I believe it is, chasing him down for P11 at the moment. So the 899 earlier on was chasing after the 166 Porsche, but they sort of tailed off a little bit after the pit stops. Obviously, we don't know what's gone on. Sometimes you can overshoot your pick box, sometimes you might have a little bit of damage. Yeah, but yeah, like you say, back to the ZA stuff. You know, they come in force, and they also bring. They also have a lot of fans in the chat as well.
They do indeed.
I remember last week there was a lot of ZA in the chat, and the love was wholesome, as it always is.
A lot of those South Africans, they stayed up to 4 a.m. to watch the conclusion of that race. That is dedication.
Yeah, that's the commitment. That's the commitment we love. Yeah, I remember the one guy, he was in for the entire stream. I can't remember his name now, but he was asking questions. He was in the chat all day. He kept me busy, and kept you busy with the Ask the Combox questions. I can't remember his name. I want to say it was Turtle something. Like Turtle Leaf 84 or something random like that. But yeah, he was awesome. I believe he was one of the ZA guys as well. But yeah, so the 86 Porsche chasing down the AM class leader. He wants to get past. You don't want to lose to an AM class, but this AM class car, the
wow,
Triple
you
Eight.
just put it out like that, did you?
Look, let's be honest, mate. If you're in the pro class, you want to be in front of these guys, and he's almost in. Oh, God, Jesse, I almost did. I almost fell out the seat that time.
I thought that was going to be another steward's inquiry. I thought Mathis was going to be up Moman's rear, and that was going to end in tears. But again, these drivers know what they're doing, and he hit the binders in the precise amount of space he had, which is convenient because had he not done that, that would have been a mess.
Yes, it would have. My eyes are giving me hell here with these two cars. It's the colors. Yeah.
You have lemon and lime.
Yes, you do have lemon and lime. So it's we need to stop doing this. We had mint versus pink last week. It's lemon versus lime this week. But yeah, the 86 Porsche. Thankfully, he's in the Porsche because otherwise he would have hit the Mercedes. I think the brakes on that car are fantastic. Can he use them to, can he put them to good use? Coming into turn 2, it doesn't look like he's going to, but the Mercedes is understeer, and you can hear the tires just squealing, saying, "Stop loading me with this much steering angle." But he's managed to get it around the corner and head up to turn 4, which is probably one of the most fun corners on the track. It's pretty much blind as well. And I think that's a race leader behind them as well. So they're going to need to stop doing what they're doing, let the leader through.
Oh, but they won't.
No, they won't, because they're battling for position. That's what makes, GT racing so exciting, because it's not mandatory as such as it is in a lot of open wheel, Formula 1, Formula 2 and so on. It's just to let you know that there is a car behind you, so don't hold him up, but and also try not to hit him. But that Mercedes is moving around a lot now. He is really driving the tires off that.
Yeah, and if you are Mathis, you know that Moman is rattled now because you see the way that he's driving, his mannerisms, his aggression has changed, his line has changed, and that's all you could really ask for. But the leader will here attempt to get around the Porsche first. Does he get out of the way and allow this to happen? Of course he does. Very, very professional and sportsmanlike driving. So now he's hoping that the leader catches him. Oh, and look at him. He's going to go all the way over there. Moment is he's not even going to get close to being in the way. But of course, the Porsche now has a toe down the front straightaway. And I think that will pretty much draw them back to where they were. Yes, indeed. Square one has been achieved, and that is textbook how to be a back marker.
It was. That's exactly how to do it. They both pretty much ended up in the same place they were earlier on.
And they're still having the battle amongst themselves as, oh my goodness, Moman gets all sorts of squirrely there, like he was trying to break up behind and nearly got into the back of the leader there, but stopped the car and had to pivot it on the apex. It just didn't look like he wanted to turn there all of a sudden.
No, it looks like he's definitely getting a bit of understeer there, and I think that may be a track limit warning there as well. He may have just cut across the limits there on the track, Moment there in the 888. But yeah, he understeered at turn 2 on the previous lap as well, so maybe that Mercedes lacking a little bit of front end grip. But it doesn't seem to be costing him too much through the middle sector. But yeah, the Porsche needs to get this. He's obviously faster, but he just can't get past. You know, it's a great shame, but the next car up the road for those guys is quite a way up as well. Although he does have a penalty, the number 16 Audi. Yeah, 12.6 seconds.
Did you say penalty?
I did.
Well, 5-second penalty for the 121 causing a collision with the 269 car. 5-second penalty for the number 16 car causing a collision with the 147. Those are the penalties you see on the screen, and those are the ones that we have turned in by Nico. So it's been I dare not call it sloppy. It hasn't been sloppy. I said that once on a broadcast a few weeks ago, and I got yelled at because that's not the correct word. And you're absolutely right. That's not the. It's been cagey, I should say. A lot of these guys are going in there and they're making mistakes or they're bumping cars out of the way, and it is a fairly tight track. We didn't cover that. We talked about the track in sort of detail, but we didn't talk about how it is a fairly tight track, despite the fact that there are places to pass. I mean, it's uncomfortable to go too wide around here is my point.
Yeah, it is. It's only really the first sector, I suppose, coming up to turn 4. You want to be side by side. You want to try and have singled out maybe by turn. Well, definitely by turn 6, in my opinion. But we're going to look into turn 12. Martin Lawrence is going to go out the inside, very, very close to Harry Conway. I believe that's the is it Triple R? I think they run with these days. Yeah, that was real close, but he defended it well, to be fair to him. But the Connection Loss Racing team. It looks like for the most part we've been watching them. They get real close, but they can't seem to get it done so far. But I wonder how that's impacted the race, you know, being stuck behind. But let's see if he can get nice and close to him down into turn 1. I do like turn 1. It is a nice overtaking spot, but is it going to be the overtaking spot for the 404 now? It doesn't look like it's going to be, but turn 2 might be, as Harry Conway gets a pretty decent exit there. I thought he got a little bit of AstroTurf, but didn't seem to affect him too much. And Harry Conway's opting for the full beam on the Audi R8, whereas Lawrence is like, it's not even dark. Why have you got your lights on? But yeah. So apart from that,
if I say Audi driver, will that offend somebody?
It won't offend me, but I'm sure it'll offend somebody. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, you're not missing anything up front. Matthias Egger took the lead down into turn 1 after qualifying second and has driven away to the tune of nearly 12 seconds on the Fordzilla team. Darren King currently in the car. Jardier has also had an excellent start. He qualified 4th, ended up 3rd after turn 1, and that's still where he is. He's 7 seconds off of Darren King and about 12 seconds in front of Ishmael Lebrec. Ishmael Lebrec's been fighting Stefan Zero in 5th place, though that battle's cooled off a little bit as well. And this is the battle that is closest to the front that we're having right now. And of course, this is Harry Conway and Martin Lawrence fighting it out in 2 cars. So this is always interesting, Josh. This is a thing that I find funny is a lot of times we talk about the differences in cars and where you can get an advantage on somebody. These are the same car, but you're seeing 2 different driving styles happen here. And Martin Lawrence is really aggressive into the corners right now.
Yeah, you can see the 2 different driving styles massively, and I think that's helping Harry Conway in a way. He seems to get the better exit. I think he's a little bit slower in, a little bit faster out of the corners, as you see there. He does get a nice exit there. But I've got to mention this chat message here because this is great stuff. So Vanta Blue has said, car 404 Connection Loss Racing. They really missed the chance to be pace not found.
Oh
That
dear.
That is great stuff, and if the 404 car do hear that, I think
That's brilliant.
Fanta Blue is going to claim the rights
I
on
like
that
that.
one, so you'll have to fight them for it. But yes, very nice comment, I've got to say. That is pretty funny. But yeah, Martin Lawrence doesn't want jokes at the moment. He wants to get past Harry Conway. He's had enough now. Look in the back of that Audi. He wants to go and
He
well,
has
not
an
really look at
Audi.
the
He
back at
knows what they
anyone.
look like.
That's true. Yeah, you know, he went into the showroom and picked the same one, so he knows what he's bought. Why does he need to look at it any longer? So yeah, maybe he should put his lights on. Who knows?
Yep, that's as an Audi driver myself, that's how I get around people. I turn my lights on high beam, and they just
I
sort of.
thought you weren't going to
go
say
that
it.
way. No, I do. You know, it's just whenever you get the keys, you relearn how to drive, and by relearn, I mean you run your high beams on at all times, and you have an indicator on, but you're never actually going the direction you're indicating. Audi driving 101.
Perfect. So
And there goes
maybe,
our Audi sponsorship.
yeah, so maybe Martin Lawrence should put the left indicator on here and then go right. Maybe confuse him a
Sell
bit.
him a dummy, yeah?
Yeah, sell him a dummy. He's going to go left. No, he's not. He's going to go right, but he's just not close enough. Harry Conway is getting the exit out of the final turn.
He is.
He's just, yeah, he's sort of got his number a bit, and that's where you got to try something different. Obviously, we're approaching obviously we still got one more stop to go, so one more driver swap, one more pit stop as well. So maybe their teammates can carry the battle on, or maybe get the old switcheroo done as Stephen Wurst in the 99 Ferrari, 1986 painted Ferrari, as Jesse's mentioned, is I don't know, is he getting past or is he under threat here? But either way, they're pretty close on the track.
He's definitely under threat. I think that that Aston Martin, my apologies, has a little bit more pace right now. I think the Ferrari's tires are dying a little bit, and the Aston's not quite having that. He is not going to try and go around the outside, is the 147, and he definitely attempted it, slid out a little bit by getting offline, and they'll have to reset and do that all over again. But for a brief moment there, I thought we were going to see a pass of heroes right there on the outside.
That's what I'm going to say about Hungaroring. When you do see an overtake, it's normally epic because it's not easy. So when you see when you do see the moves, they're pretty special because they don't happen too often, and you have to work for them. They're not just a simple down the straight, see you later. It's always in the braking zone, and it looks like someone's taken. We don't pay for that bit of tarmac, pal. You're gonna have to get back on the dark a bit. So
our producer just got in our ear. Stewie's running our cameras. He's our broadcaster for today. He was just in our ear asking. He said, "Jess, isn't that BMW drivers that do that thing that you're saying that Audi drivers doing?" No, it's not actually. Audi is the opposite of BMW. BMW never use their lights or their indicators at all.
I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, so you're getting that slightly mixed up, but yeah, it seems to be well, there's got to be something Mercedes drivers do, because the big German 3. There's got to be something. If you know something Mercedes drivers do that annoy you on a daily basis, pop it in the chat. I can't think of one myself, apart from the fact they own a Mercedes. But that's an argument for another day. Yeah, if we do have any Mercedes fans, they don't like me and you, Jesse. I can tell you that.
No, they do not. Yeah,
no, they don't. So, oh well. But Aston Martin drivers, on the other hand, want to get past Ferrari drivers at the Hungaroring today. He's had enough of that red Ferrari. He wants to get past it in his, I'm going to call it Mike Jones Purple. That's what I'm going to call that from
Oh,
now
that's a
on.
lovely thing. I like that.
Mike Jones Purple. And shout out Nick Setnick as well. I believe he's part of the Purple squad. But that back marker is like, yeah, I'm just going to park in the way. Don't worry about me. Now he gets out of the way. Nicely done. Oh, does he? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Yes, he
was
does.
hairy there for a second.
Yep, that was a little bit sketchy, but thankfully everyone's got through contact-free, as we should be in this current world. But yeah, nicely done. That's brave. That's brave on the brakes there. But yeah, the Aston. We've seen this earlier on with that driver. I don't know how to say that. Is it Visagi? Visagi? I don't know. We go 147. He was really racy earlier on. Obviously, his teammate Isherwood was falling back earlier on, but he wants to try and make up some positions, make that final stint for his teammate a little bit easier. But obviously, Stephen Wurst is no easy sort of, what would you call him? Contender, I suppose. But yeah, it's awesome. This is a great race. It's nice to see the battles. Like I've said, they are like 6-7 laps in the making. We just need to stick at it and stick with them, and eventually your time will come, and then your competitor will make mistakes. That's what you got to wait for at Hungaroring. And 0 is the first, or the number 42 is the first car
Oh, here we
to
go.
get the pit stops done. And here is his opportunity. That's what I was saying. One mistake, but he's got the outside line for turn 4, and Wurst is gonna let him have it, try and run him off the road. Is he gonna get him off? No, he's not quite. Is he gonna come back at him though around the hairpin? Turn 5, I don't think he's gonna have the speed. The switchback should be blocked off here unless he sends it up the inside into the chicane, but I don't think he will. Signed, sealed, delivered. The 147 up to P15 now. He needs to motor up the road before his stint is up, which may actually be up in... When is that going to be up? Is it 5 minutes? I think it might be 5 minutes.
Yeah, and there's something else I can tell you too, Josh. I thought that a lot of these guys would be in immediately as soon as they could make the final stint timer of 35 minutes. I thought...
Agreed.
I thought a lot of people would be in. The fact that 0 was the first one to come in, and that was at the 31-minute mark left, I was absolutely amazed by that. But, I mean, also you have Martin Schumacher, who's also been in now, Mawson and Muthen as well, back in the... Well, Mawson is not in the AM field, but they're back at the back half of the field, I should say. And, of course, a couple of the drivers will be having to serve their penalties that they have. This man right here has been the class of the field of AM today in the absence of the AM leaders that have dominated this season so far. Today has been a day for some team to show up and show out, and it has been Roy Moman, and his team has absolutely done that in the 888. Believe they qualified on pole and have done a darn good job. And the 722, don't understate the job that team has done. Hala's done a great job, considering they had a 15-second penalty at one point, and they're still hanging very tough in second place.
That's not ideal.
No, it's not ideal.
Oh, and that rejoin. The rejoin's not good. They've managed to get away with that, I think. But he needs to get out of the way as well, because I think that's the number 39 car coming through as well. Yeah, that's not ideal, but that's going to help the 722. Like you said, yeah, they've had a good run. They already made their penalty. You know, they would have been in front if it wasn't for the penalty. But there you go, 8.3 seconds back now. It was sort of 12 seconds just now, so they lost 4 seconds running wide. And that rejoin, they could have lost a lot more time, but they haven't. And there's our race leader going down the inside into, well, not into the lead, but carry on in the lead, manages to get past another back marker. That's the bit that scares me sometimes. Doing the lapping can be quite sketchy at times, because, you know, you're catching up guys that are obviously battling each other as well, and you don't want to get caught up in their mess. They don't want to cause you any grief either, really, because if you cause the leader a bit of grief, you're probably going to get a few hefty seconds thrown your way for impeding the race leader under blue flag conditions. But so far, so good for the 126, and it's very similar to what we've seen last weekend as well. Just plodding away, as I've mentioned a couple of times this race, just plodding away, getting the job done. And Darren King is in for his final stop to get his teammate back in the car, Sean Arnold, as well. So obviously the top 7 still, or top 8 yet to pit, but the P8 is currently in the pits at the moment. about to leave pit road now. So do you think the 722 can chase down the 888 in the AM class? Do you think they've got it in them? It's only about 7 seconds at the moment. Do you think they can make that up when Denisi gets back in the car? Are we going to see a round, are we going to see a fight for that lead? Because I don't think we're going to get a fight for our pro class lead, Jesse. I'm not too sure myself.
Yeah, I don't think we are going to see that. It is interesting, though, that you mention it about the 722. I am amazed the fact that they got back to second place at all, considering their sort of spin excursion and their penalty they received. So the fact that it is that close leads me to believe that if we had more time in the race, absolutely. I'm not confident with 27 minutes to go here that they will have enough time to get all the way back up there. But hey, this is RCI, and crazier things have happened.
They have, and also the car that they had the collision with is only 3.8 seconds behind them as well. And of course, those drivers will be getting into the car again for the second time, so we could see.
But race drivers forget immediately, right?
Oh yes, of course.
Works,
You know
right?
that they won't hold any grudges at all. The only time they forget is once the checker flag goes. They don't hold grudges into next races. They'll remember what you did to them, but only they hold a grudge, so to speak. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if that 777 car can get a little bit of not revenge in a nasty way, but can get in front of the 722, and that's the best way to say, hey, you hit us off, we're going to take that position off you. But yeah, you just see like Egger is just he's sort of just floating around the track at this point. Just I doubt they're pushing massively hard, just keeping it nice and steady, making sure. But I think they had like a 25-second lead now, or something stupid. Anyway, over number 39. It's crazy stuff. It's just you don't see it too often in the pro class. You just don't see it.
No, you don't. Especially with how close qualifying was, you definitely didn't expect to see it. And it's just one of those days where maybe you didn't have it in qualifying, but in race trim, you absolutely were on it, and
that's where you score points.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have all the momentum. We talked about it in pre-race. They have all the momentum. The 126 team. They won a major race, that 12-hour of Bathurst last weekend. Hope you guys were with us. I see a lot of familiar names in chat from that, and that's all you can really ask for. And sometimes that's just the shot in the arm you need. And I know that sounds silly, but it's real. Mojo, momentum, whatever you call it, is real. It instills confidence. It's either that, or maybe the Mercedes is just suited around this place. I don't know. But I definitely see a difference in that team as opposed to what they were at the previous 3 rounds. And this is going to get them right back into this championship, which again is another shot in the arm. It's more positive momentum, and they could do some serious damage down the line here in the next 4 races.
Yeah, and obviously they're going to be getting maximum points on the championship leaders as well. Because obviously they're not going to get any points; they're not finishing the race today. So it's like a double win in their eyes. Because I'm sure Joe McCauley's team,
I bet you they're fuming,
and Van der Velde, they're not going to be happy with that. But also they were running P6. They probably would be top 5, top 6 definitely. So obviously they wouldn't be losing as many points, but now they're losing they're going to get 0. They're going to get the donut, as you like to say in North America. So that's it's a shame.
Is that an American thing?
No, we definitely don't say it here.
Really?
Not in sport. Yeah, no, we don't say it. Well, at least we don't say it when we play football or soccer, as you guys call it.
Do you say goose egg?
No.
Because that's what I say. That for where I'm from in the U.S., we call it a goose egg.
I think donut may be more of a Canadian thing, potentially. I'll have to ask Lebrec about that.
We will have to ask Ishmael about that. By the way, that battle between the 888 and the 722 for the AM win, that might actually happen.
Yeah, it doesn't look. It's not too far away, is it?
It is not.
Maybe they lost a bit of time in the pit stop, the 888. So Let's wait and see. Obviously, the names haven't updated yet, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Danesi and Moman in the cars, not Hauer and Moman. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Danesi. There we go. It has updated,
There it
and
is.
I think that's a bug, but it's 0.6 of a second. That has to be no, it's not. It's not a bug.
What
They're
in the
right behind them.
world has happened that has caused this? They were 7 seconds behind going into Sector 1, and entering Sector 2, they were right on the back of them. What manner of thing? Well, there you have it. I am just being told that Danesi was 7 seconds quicker in pit lane, Josh.
Yeah, well, that'll help make your time up, won't it? So that's not ideal if you're the 888 car. Obviously, whether they needed more fuel or they needed... This could be a bit of a strategic genius from the 722. Obviously, picking up that penalty, and if they can still win their class, those guys, they're going to want a bit of champagne. They're not going to get it. Not going to get it overall, but they may get it for their class. That'll feel like an overall, an overall win. This will 15-second time
Indeed.
penalty, falling all the way back. Almost 20 seconds behind, and all of a sudden, you're right behind the car with 21 minutes to go, and you can see it racing now. And he's going to have to get out of the way for these two as well. Is he going to get out of the way early on the lap? Doesn't look like he is. Cody Blanton is also trying to race Schumacher as well. So we got two battles going on, two different classes, two different battles, and now they are line astern on the road. No one in between their battle. Let's get this underway. So Danesi 722 Aston Martin has got a great run there. Is he going to try and squeeze and force him to the inside on turn 4? I think he might be. Doesn't quite have the speed though. But yeah, this is gonna get spicy, and this is hotting up already as he gets real close. Yeah, take a look at the front bumper of my Aston Martin, pal, and soon he's hoping he'll be looking at the back bumper. But let's wait and see how this pans out. This is we've got to fight for the lead in the AM class.
Do you know what? Danesi's like, I have had a long day, pal, and I suggest you get out of my way.
Yes, or you're going to have the same fate as the 777. So I suggest you get out of the way. I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure sure he would have learned his lesson.
Oh dear, send your hate mail care of Josh Lashon here at RCI TV. I did not say that, so nobody blame Jesse Lee for that, because I did not say that one.
Look, Danesi will be fine. I'm sure you'll message me after this and you'll be like, why are you bad-mouthing me on RCI? But we're okay. We've had loads of battles over the... And in fact, at Paul Ricard once, I actually hit him off in the kind of way he hit the 777 off. But I gave back the position and everyone was friends, and we even had tea and medals afterwards as well. We didn't have tea and medals, but, I had tea because obviously I'm British, but he probably didn't.
Way to be a stereotype, Josh. So here's the thing. Somebody in chat... Oh, actually, 1 second. Make sure that pass isn't going to happen. It isn't going to happen there. Diligent viewer in chat, Vanna Blue again asked, what happened to the 25 car? What happened there? So drive-throughs aren't really given out by stewards unless it's a repeat offender. So we can deduce that they have likely used up all of their track limit warnings and have begun to accrue drive-through penalties for exceeding track limits. That is a penalty the sim automatically applies once you get too many track violations. And considering the 25's track record recently, unfortunately, this is the second or third race in this championship where they've got a drive-through for track limits. So, I mean, that's unfortunate. I mean, there's no solace. I was going to say at least it happened late in this race because it happened early at the Nürburgring, but that's not. There's no solace in that. Like you have to avoid those silly mistakes if you want to compete.
I just want to point out, I don't know if this is why this has been brought to our attention, but Sean Arnold, number 38, currently P2, he has a drive-through.
That has to be more track limits.
It has to be. So that's our P2. The moment's got a drive-through penalty. That's not going to help their case.
That's going to lose him, what, 25, 35 seconds?
Yeah, easy, 35, 40 seconds. That's going to drop him right down the order. They've been, they've been pretty much second best all race. They've been by far the second best
Oh
team.
dear, that's going to drop them out a second. You're right.
Yeah, it's going to knock them off the podium, maybe even out of the top 5.
So here's the thing. I talked earlier about the Stefan Zero team and how good that they were doing and how they stand to gain a lot from the leaders being out of this race and not scoring points, and how they were one mishap away from walking away. They may walk away with the points lead.
Yeah, that's not ideal, especially if you're the number 38. Obviously, the Yas Heat team are going to get a second place out of this because they got a 17-second gap to the car we are currently watching on screen. Martin Schumacher and the Tech 1 Racing team. I believe they're actually third in the championship. Jesse, I think you said they're third at the moment. Obviously, that may change after this race because, he might not hold on to that final podium spot potentially after the drive-through's been served. Because Cody Blanton wants a taste of that small bottle of champagne, but it's champagne nonetheless. So this is a battle for P4, but looks like potentially it's going to be the final podium position, as Sean Arnold is now in the pits to serve his drive-through penalty.
We have some of Jardier's faithful here. And by the way, hello to Jardier's viewers and fans. We're always welcome here at RCI TV. And we have one of them, Taught Tech here, is saying that Jardier is literally pumping the air. I think means he's fist pumping in the air, knowing that Sean Arnold got that penalty and they're going to be promoted to
believable.
second place. That sounds like Jardier to me. Yeah, he take it any way you can get it, young man.
Yeah, exactly. Like when we spoke to him after his one of his stints, he did a double stint, didn't he, in the Bathurst, and you just couldn't believe how energetic he was. After that, you're like, how have you got so much energy? And he's like, I don't know. It's just how I am. It's just what he is.
The man is crazy. The man is absolutely insane, and I mean that in the best way. He can get out of a car after driving for hours, and it'd be a tough stint and all that, and just be like, oh yeah, it was really good fun. I love my teammates. I just want to get back out there. It's like but Jardier, you raced for two and a half hours solid on the mountain. You know, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. That man is a competitor.
Yeah, and the best kind of competitor as well. But one thing I don't want to hype it up when it doesn't happen, but Sean Arnold isn't actually too far away from getting his podium back. He won't get second, but it's only sort of, just over 3 seconds up the road to P3, and obviously he was our P2 man, and by a long way as well. Not him on his own, but the Fordzilla team. So can he charge back through up to third place?
Maybe, but he's going to have to get through Bosslet, Blanton, and then Schumacher. And if there's one thing I know about Martin Schumacher, not over his dead body.
Okay, fair enough. So it's a stern no from Jesse, but I'm going to be optimistic that he is going to try.
He's absolutely going to try. You're 100% correct, Josh.
So I think Bosselet's actually sort of slightly off the pace compared to the front 5 at the moment. Not sure why that is. He's normally right up there. But speaking of right up there at the moment, that's right up the rear end of that number 16 Audi. And so that's an AM driver. He wants to improve even more, the P18. Maybe put a car in between him and Denasi as well, as a little bit of insurance. So that, nice little twitch there as well. So that car definitely isn't running a lot of front end grip, because they seem to be struggling all the way through turn 2 into turn 3. At Walmouth in the 16 Audi has got these two behind them. These two are fighting for the class lead as well. But Walmouth doesn't really care about that, to be honest. He just wants to keep his position. So this will either be great for the 888 or really bad for the 888. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one loser or one winner here. Is if he can get past 16 Audi, I think he may be safe from Denasi for the next 13 minutes. If he can't get past him, he may be under threat from the 722. And that's looking that way. The 722 looks a lot closer to him than he is to the Audi we're running on board with.
Yes.
Well, let's see what happens coming down to turn 1. It could be a three wide moment, Jesse. Come on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're 100% right. Denasi needs to be very smart, and he is being very smart because he's been following for the past 5 or 6 minutes. And that's very smart. Pick your moment. picked the absolute perfect moment to get that pass. Look at him all up on the curb, trying to get every single bit that he can to not be directly in the tire tracks to try and make something happen here. Those cars incredibly well paced against each other, but again, all it's going to take is one slip up, one move, one pass gone wrong, working lap traffic incorrectly, something like that. And then it is going to be game on for the AM win here today. It is all the play. And again, this is also for 18th place. Wilmoth there, that is 18th place, 18th, 19th, and 20th. And yes, they're in different classes, but it is for overall position. There will be no blue flags. There will be no interruption between this. He's going to try and go around the outside. Is Denesi. He's going to try and get it done. He won't be able to, but still giving it a shot, letting him know. And every time you can do that, any time that you can sort of alter the behavior of the car in front of you, you're in their head.
Yeah, exactly. You're just trying to make him take a different line. Maybe think about, maybe I'll run a bit wide, try and cut him off. But Denisi's definitely got the pace now. He can smell this AM class win. It's tantalizingly close as he's almost made contact there, coming around turn 11, but manages to sort of get on the brakes. Get on the brakes early enough there. I think they may have had a bit of contact there on the apex, but. Yeah, the closing speed on the Aston is just so much more than the Merc, and the Merc is obviously getting compromised being stuck behind the Audi, but the Audi's just too fast down the straight. You can't catch a break at the moment, the 888. Everything he does is just sort of going against him. This is not good at the moment. The Aston is so good. He's got a lovely little exit as well, but look at that Merc, just power up. Power down the straights. See you later, and I do think they got a faster car behind them as well, so maybe they're going to have to let that car through. We'll see now. Does he make a move to the inside?
What's up in front of
There's
him
all
here.
sorts of chaos going on. It's like it's
Josh,
all kicking off.
This is about to end in tears with 10 minutes to go in this race. We're watching the battle for the AM win, and it could not be more intense as look, the 722 just absolutely backed off. He backed off quite a bit more than I thought he might have to there. Gave up a lot of time. But then again, that lime green Aston Martin is going to have to get in here and get by these guys. So maybe that's strategic. Maybe he's hoping that he gets held up and he's far enough back to make the position move. But of course, Rowert is still working on Wilmoth here for that 18th place, and the 44 wants nothing but to get around these guys. He doesn't want no quarrel with any of these guys. He just wants to finish the race and not have an incident right here. But
yeah, and it's hard not to get involved in one when there's about 6 cars trying to share the same bit of tarmac. And you can see how much faster he is as well, but that Mercedes not giving up. And like you say, he doesn't necessarily have to. He probably should be a bit more mindful of it. But there we go. There's Denesi going to be opportunist. He's going to take the inside line the same way the 44 Aston did. Is he going to get defensive enough into the final, the last hairpin? That's a little bit of a tap, but we will let that go. That's rubbing his racing, in my opinion. Yep. This is what we want to see. Come on, 9 minutes to go. Let's get this done on track, nice and clean.
But
Let's
I'll tell you one thing, that made Denesi more angry. He's more mad. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna fender tap me there? Okay, yeah, I see you. I'll see you down in turn 1."
And let's be honest, Denesi's not one you want to be, his track record in this race. But that is the 888 going to go past the Audi potentially? No, doesn't get the traction, but he's also going to be compromised as well. The 722 is going to try and go. Here we go. They're 3 wide. Looks like we're on a photo day all of a sudden coming down into turn 3. Or turn 2, sorry. Now we're going to go down to turn 3, and there we go. Line of stern as they were. Carry on, boys. This is great stuff.
I suggest we all breathe.
Yeah, me too. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Deep breaths. Let's get ready for turn 1 again.
I am being told that Sean Arnold has recovered 5th place. After that penalty, he was 6th. He has gotten up to 5th place from Bosselet. As Josh said earlier, he thought that there was a speed discrepancy there, or a pace discrepancy, I should say. Confirmed. 5th place now belongs to Sean Arnold in his march, potentially back to a podium. I just think he's going to run out of time. 8 minutes left to go. It's just gone 6 p.m. in sim time. Wind has picked up, by the way, around the halfway point. It was only a few kilometers, and now it's 14 kilometers. That is a significant wind. 16 degrees track temperature, 14 ambient here. Track still optimum and
Oh,
just
here we go, more
partly cloudy.
contact.
These guys are going to be side by side, still racing it out hardcore here. And I think he's going to just about have this pass done. And yes, he is. Danesi will take that position away and the lead for AM, and contact involved, but I don't think the stewards will mind too much.
No, I don't think so. A little bit of contact, but I think they've both been at it as well. So I think it's bit of push, but a bit of shove. But Danesi's got it done. Can he keep hold of it though? 7 minutes to go. I think he probably can. But if he now is wedged behind the Audi, he may be the one under threat. And it looks like the Triple Eight's going to make that quite known already. So he's going to try and go around the outside, or is he going to try and break early, get the switch back into turn 2? Don't think there's going to be enough room there for him to go through, but he's definitely going to give it a try, and it's not a bad effort either, because he's got a lot of speed now, coming up down the hill, then back up the hill towards turn 4, sweaving behind Danesi, letting him know that he wants that position back. But Danesi's saying, no, you're not having it. It's ours. So let's wait and see how this pans out. Because yeah, they both look pretty feisty, don't they? But the Audi is just sort of being the guy that's providing all the entertainment because he's keeping them so close together.
Yeah, and there's nothing. Wilmoth is not doing anything wrong. He is.
No, he's not.
At the end of the race, he's defending his position. He's not driving erratically. It just so happens that these two cars behind him are a bit faster than him, and they are fighting for the win in their category. That's all that's going on here. I know some people would be arguing that Wilmoth should probably move, but I prefer to live in a world where everybody fights for every position. So play on.
Me too. And like I say, it's providing great entertainment for obviously me and you, also Stewie on the cams, who's doing a fantastic job, I will say, to bring us all the different angles, and obviously all the viewers as well. This is what we want to see. I don't think Wilmoth knows he's doing it, but he's doing it.
I don't know how Stewie does it. He's talking to us in our ear. He's directing us. He's typing to us about things that are going on that we're not seeing. And in addition to all of that, as it's going to get incredibly dicey, it's going to be contact with a lap car there. Is that a lap car or is that a car trying to come through? I'm unsure.
I believe that's a lap car. We've seen him a few times being overtaken by some of the guys higher up.
Okay.
But yeah, he's. I think he was the one that was in the middle sector earlier on, where me and you pretty much both sunk into the chairs. Remember that?
There it is. Yes,
got quite
indeed.
close.
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
But yeah, like you say, Stewie's giving us doing a great job on the
but I don't.
on the cameras.
How is he doing the cameras and doing that at the same time? I'm starting to think he has more than 2 arms.
Maybe he RCI's resident octopus. I don't know.
There it is. Well, Alistair Gillies is going to go incredibly wide here, and that's going to allow Sundstrom to get through in the 899. Position gained, bump Sundstrom up into the top 10. Alistair Gillies will try and come back on him. I just don't know, but the Porsches don't... A lot of the Porsches seem to struggle around here. Every time we come here, the Porsche teams are just not quite up to the pace for some reason.
Yeah, and it's quite strange because they're so good on the brakes. It may be the Porsche can be unforgiving sometimes on the when you apply the throttle. But yeah, Mikael Sundstrom doesn't need a second invitation to take the 10th spot there. But here we go, back to the AM leader now. Serafini Danesi in the 722 Aston Martin in British Racing Green, which we haven't mentioned, but it is British Racing Green, if you didn't know. He needs to get past Wilmoth, or Rowett is going to have him. So here they come down to turn 1 again. But Wilmoth is just putting that in the right place, and he's actually backed Danesi up now. Wilmoth didn't intentionally do that, but looks like, here we go. Oh, he's gone to the inside now. That's a nice move. Is he going to give him the room? Oh, I thought it was going to be contact there because we couldn't see because of the tree.
Oh, there's going to be contact here.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, he's going to have to give that back, I think.
And
yes, he has. He has exactly that. But that could have been a lot worse. I thought that Aston Martin was going to be wrapped around the fence.
Do you know who won that battle?
Go on.
Wilmoth won that battle because he's the only one that didn't get contact, and he's up the road now.
That's true. Is that going to work in Danesi's favour, though? Because now he's got a bit of room to breathe, potentially?
Oh, that could be the nail in the coffin. We're going to have to find out here. and see if that is the sort of winning
now we're going to
move
see
for
who's
Am.
really got the pace, because there's nobody in front of Denesi now. So let's see if he can actually pull away, or whether Wolmuth is just, just sort of getting not blamed for this, but it's not actually Wolmuth that's holding them up. But
Yeah, oh man, that's just, it always happens this at the end of an RCI broadcast where, you go about the race and then at the end it all seems to come back together. We highlight so very often the pro battles and the positions up at the front. Well, this is at the front too, folks. It may be for 19th, but this is at the front of the Am field, and this is exactly what we want to see. A fight for a win, a fight. I mean, who knows if the 222 team comes back next week, which they will do. Who's to say that they won't just dominate and we will not get this? Oh, he's going to get right up to the back of him. Rowert getting all he can possibly get. I think he actually touched the 722, if ever so slightly there. And he is, I think there's going to be one more lap, one more shot. But look at the Aston Martin get sideways off the corner. All that's doing is allowing the Mercedes to get right back to him. One more shot, one opportunity here at the end of this race, coming to the conclusion of round 4. The leader has taken the white flag for the race. These guys will have one more lap to go. It's going to be a nail biter.
Yeah, I'm already biting my nails. I haven't really got much left. I didn't have much left from last weekend, but Denesi and Rowett are not helping the nail situation here. But yeah, the leader's on the final lap, but these guys obviously got a few more corners of this lap and another one to go as well. And there's a Honda there as well. I don't even recall seeing that. That must be Jackson there in the 301. Hello. We haven't seen you today, but yeah, Denesi now. So it looks like he wasn't necessarily being held up as such. Roweth has got the pace as well. Rowett, sorry, not Roweth. But yeah, the 126 Mercedes in the Pro class is going to come home and bring that. They have a few more corners to go, but the battle at the moment is for the AM class victory. Only separated by 3/10. This is going to be the last time we see them dive into turn 1. Is the 888 Mercedes going to go full send?
Oh, here he goes.
Lick the stamp. It looks like he is. He's gone super defensive to the inside. Here we go, the Mercedes going to try the switchback move, and I think he might just get on the curb a little bit too much, but here we go, down to turn 2. This is where the Mercedes seems to be quicker than him, and he seems to pressure Denesi. Contact here last lap. Can he get it done? He's going to go to the outside this time. Denesi's just going to block him off. Great defending, great driving here from the two of them, but the Mercedes is going to carry the speed now. Turn 3, turn 4. Is he going to get close enough to him? I don't think he is.
I think he's going to get one more shot at it. And here's Fulvio Berrezzini. His teammate Matthias Egger is in our chat right now. Congratulations for the second time in 6 days. Orion Racing Team wins the 2-hour race here, round 4 of the RCI Endurance Championship. The 126 in victory lane again. Excellent job. The excellent week that those gentlemen have had.
Sorry to interrupt you, Jesse. Sean Arnold didn't get that place back off Bossele, but he's got a 5-second time penalty. So that's going to set him back to P6 again. Hopefully we get word of why that is very soon. We may already have it, but we will bring that to you as soon as we have it. Here we go. Let's just see the final corners. Alan Serafini Denesi in the 722.
Is he going to make a dive on Wolmuth here? Do you think?
Well, is he going to go for it? He's not going to be close enough. But how this car has come home to win the AM class is nothing short of exceptional, to be honest. 15-second time penalty for an earlier incident, and they brought it back to win the AM class. What a drive! And Rowett as well coming up P2 in the AM class. Brilliant driving from the two of those. That was a fantastic battle for the last time around Hungaroring.
Yes, indeed. Fulvio Berrezzini comes across for Orion Racing to win in the 126. Valentin Berrier is going to come in, finish second after a fantastic race in the 39. Martin Schumacher will cross in the Lexus, in the number 42 Lexus, to take home third place and lock down the podium. Cody Blanton in fourth place. Sean Arnold will have to settle for what will inevitably, he crosses the line fifth, but will be sixth. Bosselet will be promoted back to that position. Position of fifth, that is, based on the time penalty. And we will mention why that penalty was given here in a second. Behind sixth place, James Parker, Guider, McCall, Sundstrom, Gillies, Macha, Lima, Worst, Isherwood, Bonka, Santos, Wilmoth, and your AM winners, Sarah Finney, Denesi, absolutely came back. 15-second penalty, and they came back from it.
Yeah, just crazy stuff. And it was a mighty stint from Robbie Hauer as well before in the 722, and obviously the pit stop as well. Their strategy, they obviously got that down to the absolute T. Obviously getting 7 seconds. I'm guessing that was fuel, but it could have been an overshoot for the 888 car as well. Obviously, if you go past your pit box, sometimes you get that little bit of time where the team have to push you back in. But yeah, great race, Jesse. I thought that was it was a bit of a lull in the middle part, but that's endurance racing. It always comes back in the end.
But we're not done yet. I got to tell you exactly what happened here on the 62nd lap in between turns 6 and 7. An incident involving the 137 and the 38. 5-second penalty awarded to the 38 car. And of course, that was the penalty that you saw that dropped that Fordzilla team back to sixth position. Once again, they would have finished fifth otherwise. But I think, and I haven't done the points, but I think Martin Schumacher and Stefan Zero have done it and are your new points leaders halfway through this crazy season. And now I'm done. And now I agree with you. That was a crazy race.
Yeah, it was. It had everything: a bit of drama, a bit of contact, rubbing his racing, some fender banging, some lovely overtakes. Some great late lunges as well. I think one that comes to mind was the pink Audi earlier on into the chicane, where he just pretty much just went full send and made the chicane. I don't quite know how he did that, but I'm going to watch that back and try and figure out that. But yeah, that was a pleasure to cast, and thank you for all the viewers for joining us and firing in the questions and keeping us busy there as well. And big thanks to Stewie as well for the great cameras as well.
Yes, indeed. And everybody, thank you for joining us, like Josh just said. And please, if you enjoyed today's broadcast, leave a like and subscribe. And don't miss a single race here at RCI on RCI TV. Just want to thank all of our partners, Race Department, AK Informatica, Raceface, and our sponsor, Next Level Racing, for making all of this possible. More information about all of those fine people down in the description and on our Discord, which, by the way, if you like what you saw and you want to get involved, all you have to do is sign up, right? And come and race with us, and maybe we'll be seeing you out here on the big stage one day. On behalf of Josh, myself, and our broadcaster, Stewie, thank you very much for spending your Friday afternoon and evening with us. We'll be back next week for round 5 of the Endurance Championship here at RCI. We hope to see you there. Until then, have a good night and take care of yourself.